That's kind of remarkable. It does.
That was actually what I was going for this. I'm not even lying. Welcome to a new Black Lotus podcast. I'm your host today, Michael Blue. My co-host is not here. He is in DC living his best life at Howard University. But I digress. Today, we got an interesting podcast for you guys. I brought along the DreamArt production family. We're gonna call it family.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's cute.
Family.
That's cute.
I like
I like that.
How y'all doing?
I like that. That's popping.
So we're just gonna go around. Everybody introduce yourselves to the podcast.
Caden Nutt, founder of DreamArt Production. You know, here with my team.
I'm so sorry. My knee just
That's
cracked.
You're supposed to introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Zai. Well, Desira. Part of DreamArts. You feel me? That's all I got.
I'm Jules, DreamArt producer. Yeah, that's how we're going.
We'll get into details later.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We're building. We're building. It's okay.
But today, honestly, I got a couple things, but it's just gonna be just a normal episode, not too much, not necessarily like a in-depth one like we usually do. Like it doesn't really have a specific series. It's just normal episode. Got a couple questions, but we're just gonna let things flow. You know what I'm saying? Just have like an organic conversation. Because these are pretty interesting people. You know what I'm saying? If I have my Uncle Larry hoodie on, y'all see, you know what I'm saying? Real numbers, getting digits like it's Christmas. Let's see. Last time I checked, the last couple questions. Here we go. These aren't the right questions.
Step it up.
What do you guys do today? Let's start off there. What y'all do today?
Should I start?
Yeah.
Well, I'm coming from school, so I had soccer practice this afternoon. Did a little bit of homework and then made my way here. Was in traffic for a cool hour, but excuse me, for a cool hour, but
Same.
we here.
You know,
now.
traffic's hella vicious, bro. Like,
Vicious.
I don't know why. Like, why can't people drive?
It's literally people just unnecessarily braking.
No, for real.
Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Like-
Like,
You
what are y'all
can't be
doing?
road raging though in certain areas.
No, but I be mashing. I be mashing on my shit. I just be mashing.
But you gotta hide it because it's
No,
you can't
because
road rage
I
in
almost
some
got
places.
T-boned on the way here. So I hate driving out here, but it's okay. It's whatever. What did I do today? Woke up. I had a Zoom session, LOL, for my intercultural communications class. And like I guess we're touching on gender identity, gender, race, and like culture identity. So that was cool. Yeah, Zoom. I prepped up for my pop-up this weekend. It's pretty productive.
Want to talk about that?
My pop-up?
Yeah.
Sure. So, Sunday I have a pop-up in Vacaville. It's gonna be at Willsiewood High School. I sell foam ink luxurious lashes, and I also have merch coming on the way. So keep an eye out. My Instagram is yourstruly.zai. Shameless plug. Yeah.
Follow it.
Numbers. Get on that.
No, send me something slight. Jules?
Oh man, I didn't. Alright, I probably woke up at like 8 a.m. Had a 2-hour lab. It was online, but it was 2 hours. And then I'm not gonna lie, I skipped one of my classes because I just had hella homework that I had to kill through. And then I had another lab at 2. It ended at like 5. And then
What do you do in the labs? What do you do in the labs?
shit, engineering.
Wait, what's it for? Oh, shit.
Engineering shit.
You're smarticles.
And then
Fuck that.
and then after that, I just like ran back to my room, got ready, packed my stuff, and I came out here.
It was a productive day, guys. I'm so proud of you.
Very productive.
Yeah, I just
Very.
been doing a lot of different bullshit today. But no, for real. I had a pretty productive day. Been driving a lot, but nothing
Man.
crazy.
Too.
Bad traffic, I'm telling you.
So, Katie, I just want to start off by saying this is one of the questions. I can't find my list of questions right now. I don't know what happened to them. They're on my phone. They just disappeared, but I do remember them. What made you, start DreamArt? Like, even though everybody probably doesn't know what DreamArt is, but it is a production company that's on the up and coming. We're trying to start one, and it is actually I'm gonna let you explain it.
Well, I mean, it started off with my writing, and I needed a platform to get it out to. And then I seen all the people around me. You know, I got talented individuals as friends, as family. And I was like, why not make a group where we can combine all of our talents and gifts and showcase what we can do, you know what I'm saying? Chase our dreams and motivate other people to chase their dreams. So, yeah, that's how that all began.
So off that, where do you see DreamArt going?
I see it being monumental. I see it being an empire, multi-million-dollar business, tunnel vision, you know what I'm saying?
Tunnel vision.
Tunnel
You
vision.
heard it
That's what you
here.
gotta have.
Tunnel
We're
vision.
dreaming big, we're not settling.
We
That's all
can't
I'ma say.
settle. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Big dreams. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I feel like you started DreamArt like around the same time we started this podcast. Yeah.
I remember talking to you
Yeah,
about it.
we were talking about it.
FaceTime.
Yeah. I had similar dreams for the podcast as DreamArt did.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll say my role. Kenny came to me, and I came to Kate and I was like, "Hey, bro, drop an album, and definitely need help with the whole, like distributing and getting my name out there." And he was like, we could definitely use you here." And I was just like,
Yes, sir.
say less. Like I really do need I need help doing this because I'm nowhere near experienced with this. And not saying that we're all experienced. We're still trying to figure
not at all.
we're trying to figure out some situations right now. But
everyone started in this position.
exactly, everybody started here. That's the whole point.
What they doing.
Exactly. You don't know where you're going in life, you know what I'm saying? Like I say this all the time, like you don't know what like obstacles you have until you can see them. Every trial and tribulation you go through is unknown until you actually like hit like the event that sparks that that event.
No, yeah, exactly. I didn't think I wanted to be an entrepreneur back then. Like it's not anything.
I just figured out what I want to do with my life, and it's similar to what I wanted to do when I was like 9 or 10, but I would have never guessed this. I wanted to be a lawyer.
Me too.
You know, I wanted to.
You're so good at arguing. What does that mean? What does that even mean?
It don't mean nothing.
Like
my middle school, my high school teacher, he was like, I could see you being like a congressman. I was like, I could definitely, and that made me become a political science major, just off of him just saying that, and shouldn't have done that. All love to Mr. James, though. I hope you see my podcast one day. I really do appreciate you. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about that.
I didn't even talk about my role.
Oh yeah.
I was forgot. When Kaden reached out, I reached out to him first about, because I also needed a platform for my small business. But he also...
I hold it.
Cries. Want to record on my phone? We can do that too. If you want to.
Okay. That was extremely weird. The camera just went out. But,
It died?
No, it just went out. All of a sudden, it was weird.
Is it even recording?
It's still recording.
Shit.
Like,
Oh,
I was
okay.
gonna say.
it started. It just stopped
Damn,
recording.
for
We'll cut all this shit out. Boom. You were saying about your business?
Oh, yeah, well, I reached out to Kaden because obviously we were all trying to find, like, our own platform and networking with all of us together. And then he reached out to me about being, like, the head of, like, merchandise, basically, because I am looking forward to doing, like, apparel and stuff like that in the future, but this is also something I wanted to branch out to, like, just not my own business, but helping out everyone else so we can all just build off together. Like, it's dope. It's like, it really will turn out into, like, a big family, so I'm hoping to get all those connections with everyone.
Don't be surprised when we on top. Don't be
Man.
surprised.
Don't underestimate.
I guess another question I have. Well, Jules, you want to talk about what you've been up to?
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. My fault.
Quiet over there.
I was thinking about what I was gonna say. I was like, all right. So, I hit up Kaden probably like, I was really like, not last, but definitely one of the most recent people to join DreamArt, because I had seen it and I like had to like give it some thought, like the people in it, the type of styles that are in it, like it's all very different, but you know everyone still has like the one goal. It's like, you know, everyone wants to just go up like that.
Yes, sir.
So then, and I really liked like just the idea of it, so I hit him up and I was just like, I want to be part of it. And then you know luckily I'm here, and then I just, what's it called? I'm a producer. I make music. So then, whenever, like, I just have things that I want to put out, I don't do it often anymore because like I want to keep everything very concise but very, very good.
Yeah.
So then,
Conservation.
when I do put stuff out, you know, I hit up Kaden like, yo, I'm about to put some stuff out, just like, here it is. And then, you know, I'll once, you know, I post it on my public, everyone else goes up and is like, oh, this is here. And it's like, dang. So then, you know, it's that, what's it called? That's like the main thing that I really liked about joining, and just the production in general, is that once one person posts it, everybody else in the production will post it too.
Like everyone we're not here to just be like ourselves, basically. Like, my goal for sure is like, if I eat, y'all for surely finna be eating. Like, that's the plan here.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just building some, like, you know, just for myself. Like, it's just dope seeing like all these like smaller artists finally kind of, you know, I think it's really hard, especially out here, like, being like your own thing. Like, there's a lot of too much competition where we don't really support each other. But if we have no support, then where are we finna go? You know, so it's been kind of hard.
That's why I'm so confident about all of this working out, because they say if you want to go fast, go yourself, but if you want to go far, go together.
Yes.
So, you know, that's what we're creating here. Yes, sir.
I completely forgot to start the music. I don't even know how far we're into this. How far are we into this? Just curious. 17 minutes? Okay. Today's playlist is brought to you by none other than the great Shmino. Grigio. You understand me? Baby.
Valid.
You understand me? But,
I think he got a concert coming up. Yeah, he's going on tour. Unless I'm tripping. I think he is.
I think he's going on tour soon.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see him. Let's hop into more like general questions. Like, who you guys fuck with music-wise?
Oof.
Man,
That is so hard.
Top five.
So hard.
That's so hard.
Like, my top 5 favorite artists right now.
All time.
All time? Okay.
Oh,
Dang, that is so hard. Man.
I'm just playing. Just right now. that you guys have been listening to. Because top 5, top 10, you can't even do top 10. I got to do top 20.
Yeah. Let's do top 5 all time after recent.
After recent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do top 20 because I can't do top 5.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep you big.
Well, you want to go first?
No, I'm trying to think because I'm definitely not gonna be able to
So
list that, but I'm trying to think of like a new artist that I've just been put on.
I would tell y'all who I've been bumping like right now, but that's under wraps. I can't tell y'all. That's some real P shit.
Let me look at my playlist.
But of course, gonna have to give it up to Larry right now. Jay Worthy. Y'all should go bump Jay Worthy. Gonna go see him in Philly.
Motivation from the Bay.
Sammy. What's I've been listening
Hard
to?
as hell.
I'm the biggest Drake fan on this earth. So.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Really?
Since
For
middle school,
real?
I've always been.
Drake's
a
been
huge
cool.
Drake fan.
Actually, let's talk about that. Let's talk about
Certified Lover?
I was hoping we was gonna talk about the
Certified
album.
Lover?
I was hoping we was gonna talk about the album.
Okay, we can do that. We can do that.
What's y'all favorite song on there?
What is it called? The one with title.
I'll die for Drake, just so y'all know.
Would you die for your girl though?
Oh God.
Then your friends.
No. What is it called? What is the one with title? What is it called?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name.
Oh,
It's so
With
good.
your friends, like better with your friends, something like that. That's toxic. Of course you like it.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Hold on.
Darkness.
Anyway,
If you want to talk about
Darknesses.
toxic,
I thought the album was okay, but then the more I keep listening to it,
It gets better.
it's just like
It
I
grows
keep
on
going back to it. I don't know why.
Man does not miss.
Bro, the only song I fuck with like probably about 4 or 5 songs like on a serious level.
Yeah.
I don't really fuck with. Everybody keeps saying
Get Along
7 a.m.
Better.
bridal path. It's
okay.
cool. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's cool. It's not the best.
It's not what he.
okay.
It's not every time he does like a location at a time. It always goes crazy.
Right.
But it didn't go as crazy as the last one. You know what I'm saying? I would say the best song on there is Pipe Down.
Pipe Down.
Oh,
Pipe
Down is
Down.
cool.
Pipe Down.
Pipe
That's my
Down,
song.
Get Along Better.
I think that's just because I related to it a little too much.
Very, very toxic behavior. I don't
That's
even
what
like
I'm
that
saying.
word.
I'm not even toxic like that. I
He
just
said-
related to that shit. You're just
what
like,
is
how
it?
much I gotta pay for you to pipe down? Like,
When I was reading like
the past has just been like that.
What is it called? A
Champagne
combination
poetry,
of
yeah.
toxic masculinity and acceptance of
Yeah, that's what he said.
Is there such thing? We talk about this all the time. There ain't no such thing as toxic masculinity. It's just ultra masculine. You know, on the spectrum.
Ultra?
Yeah, it's
What is ultra?
ultra masculine because I've been reading and I've been looking at the origins of masculinity. There's no such thing as alpha actually, nor beta. There's no such thing as alpha because
alpha
because alpha wolves only exist in captivity. So when the guy who initially wrote the book about it went out into nature, he discovered that the pack did not run the same way. And so there was no such thing as an actual alpha. But the ultra masculine man is a man who purely stays onto his purpose and does not care about anything else. So like if his purpose in life is purely to I guess everybody would say nowadays chase a bag, he's not going to worry about settling down with any women. You know, he's not going to worry about settling, or I won't say with any women. He won't worry about settling down with one woman.
Right. It's just not his goal.
It's not his goal. You know.
Ooh.
On top of that, his behavior is all in terms of getting exactly what he wants in life. You know, but on the flip side of that, there is the ultra feminine, which gives everything in her life. She just is open to giving everything. And then in the middle of that spectrum, you have. Oh, and another thing about the ultra masculine is that he is a purely logical being. So like he only uses his brain. He never uses his emotions. So which is why people mix it up with toxicity, but he's not really toxic.
Yeah.
He just only uses his brain.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not gonna call him a psychopath because it does definitely sound like I'm saying like a sociopath or psychopath, but he's not a socio or a psychopath. He just purely knows exactly what he wants in life, and he's going to get it.
Yeah. Okay, so being the only girl here, what is your, like, when we do talk about toxic masculinity, like, what do you think that is when we talk about it? Like, when it's brought up, at least.
What I just described,
like,
just
what traits usually?
What traits?
Oh, that's your toxic masculinity show. Like, what traits usually?
Well, when people say like, oh, that's toxic masculinity, it's usually like when a person says, oh, don't cry, don't show your emotions. But I'm actually glad you brought this up. A lot of people, when they say that, they don't think about the repercussions nor why that's not a masculine trait in the first place. So masculinity roots in logic and femininity roots in emotion. Now, I'm not saying that the masculine man should only have masculinity.
Right.
He should also have certain traits of femininity within himself.
Yes.
And that balance is the divine, or superior masculine. That is my goal and Joey's goal.
Right.
What are you saying?
And I think, like, the whole femininity thing, I feel like people just don't really understand what it means to be feminine, like, as a guy. Like, it doesn't mean, like, you have all these girly traits or that you're, like, you know, like, it literally just means, like, tap into, I don't know, exactly, because I know as boys, it's very hard, or maybe not now, maybe it's easier for you guys to, like, you know, talk about your emotions, but as guys, I know it's really hard to, like, be vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, and, like, in a relationship standpoint, like, I don't know, I feel like there's that stigma about how girls feel. There's these girls who can't really, like, I don't know, who they're like, oh, you can't, like, why are you crying? Or, why are you telling me your problems
that's the first
now?
time I've heard that,
No,
honestly.
because there are girls out there who are like, why are you telling, like, it's a sign of weakness.
Oh, you're saying to, like, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it all the time.
And
yeah, like, so, because I know that there's a stigma behind guys having such a hard time being open to girls because you assume that we're going to think you're, like, weak.
Yeah.
For surely.
Like, have you had experience with that? Like, girls, like, make
For surely. Back when I was a simp. Man. This is actually... I don't like to talk about this situation because I made a whole podcast.
I told you I'm going to get you vulnerable tonight.
No, I'm not getting vulnerable. I never get vulnerable, but I do. I'm just that... I'm not that type of dude anymore. I don't do that. I don't open up emotionally anymore because that's just dangerous. I heard once a man said this. He said, it is okay to... Emotions are real. Feel your emotions, but do not engulf yourself. Do not get into your feelings. And once you get into your feelings, you are doomed. And I truly believe in that. And once you start reminiscing about feelings, that is you getting into your feelings. And so I refuse to get into my emotions.
Is that... Never mind, I'm finna turn into a therapist.
But yeah, I definitely used to, you know, be a simp. Like, everybody knows this, but I am not no more.
What is a simp to you?
We describe this all the time.
Yeah, I always hear
What is a
Yeah,
simp?
we talk about
What
this
is
all
a
the time.
simp? Like,
It
what
is
do
a
you think
man
a
who
simp is?
puts, to be frank, Claude, you don't have to bleep this out. Pussy over your purpose. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
oh, okay, so that's a different...
it's, and I heard somebody say this. It said sympathizing. What do you say?
That's crazy. Pussy over your purpose.
Sympathizing. What did he say? Sympathizing into mediocre pussy. That's what he said.
Oh, okay.
So being down
bad.
yeah,
Okay.
I won't say being down bad because you can be down bad without being a simp.
That's fair.
Like, you could be complaining about how you don't get coochie, you know, without actually like being like begging for coochie. You know what I mean? Like some people would just rather not have coochie and complain about it than be simping and getting coochie. You know what I'm saying? So, and I respect that. I respect them more than I respect simps. And you know, and hey, let me get this clear. I appreciate all the simps out there because it makes it easier for me, like for fellas like me to go out there and just do what I do. But
Wait, I had a question.
Yeah.
Is building off of
That's
desirous.
That's interesting though. The way you put it.
It's a free market.
Building off of desirous, like.
It's not a free market.
The game is wide open. I'm hitting crossovers, fadeaways. I'm busting half court shots. You understand me? I'm balling. I'm going for 40. I'm going for 40.
40 ball.
40 ball. I'm throwing my homies assists and shit. Like, come on, stop playing.
You gonna catch it, Katie?
Wait, did you have a question?
Yeah, you had a question.
Come on.
Building off of like what you.
I'm just playing. I'm just
he's
originally.
not.
Building off of
No, he's not.
your topic of
No, I'm not.
masculinity and vulnerability. For the guys, are you in a good place with your masculinity, and when and where, or when did you figure that, and how long did it take for you to just like really click with you, like where you are mentally?
Kate, I'm gonna let you go first.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I feel like I'm in a good place, but you know, it's a journey. I feel like, so I can't just say that, you know, I'm there. You know, I feel like it's gonna be a foregoing journey. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel about it.
You wanna go first?
Yeah, because I feel like there's a time, like growing up, like especially when everyone's seeing you, just like you rule, like, or your emotions are ruled over by being like you want to be that dude, you just want to be like the hardest one out, and like you don't want to show any emotion. And then for me at least, like I was like that for a while, and then I just hit a breaking point where I was like, I can't be like this.
You're tired of it.
It's tiring to just it's tiring to not care.
Yeah.
Because once you start caring about like, wow, this is actually affecting me negatively, and it's not just like, oh, this makes me angry, like you're saying like this makes me sad or this makes me upset, and I'm okay with it. Like let me work through it instead of just putting it aside. Like once I hit that boundary and I got over it, like life became a lot easier.
So are you saying that you didn't care at first?
Yeah, there was a while where I was just like, I didn't, not saying I didn't completely care,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to care, so I fronted like I didn't care.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was opposite. Complete opposite. Jeff definitely was just caring about everything and did not really use my logical when it came into interacting with women. I'll say, I won't say women because they weren't women. They were definitely girls at that time. But when it came into interacting with the opposite sex, I definitely it would just be emotions. Cause at least that's what I had thought just watching movies and shit. Since I didn't really have, you know, the perfect ideal examples in life. But what I will say is that after looking back on it, I'm disgusted with that dude. Like,
is it embarrassing to you?
It is.
That you let that much of you, like.
For surely. Like, so, why would I? Why would I like the question? Like, I ask myself all the time, like, why would I even like talk about shit like that and why would I like be so open and willing to do things just for the sake of another person? You know, not put yourself first, be on your purpose. So it kind of sickened me, but I definitely do appreciate going through that because now I know exactly what not to do and never to get past that point. Like, I now have a floor, I'll say. I'm not going to fall in love. One of the dudes who put me onto Redpill said, he said it is okay to love somebody but falling in love is a dangerous choice.
Woo.
But I will say this.
Woo!
I think the difference between like masculine and feminine is that, because I think for feminine it would be a good choice to fall in love, because femininity roots in emotions, as I said. So
No, yeah, like as a girl, like whatever, I'll just say it. Like in my past relationship, I just felt like I wasn't really in tune with my femininity yet, because growing up I wasn't in touch with my emotions, so it was really hard for me.
yeah,
So like I was too stubborn or not vulnerable enough to the point where I didn't talk to nobody about shit. Like showing my emotions was like
ew.
like what the fuck? Like that's weird to me, you know. And that's just kind of how it was. So like I felt like I had too much masculine energy as a girl, where like I just wasn't in touch with such an important part of myself as a girl. Like I was only more in tune with my femininity like this year. Like I would say it's definitely the people, like not just like romantic wise, but like the people you surround yourself with, or like obviously parental shit, like not having like certain figures definitely show like the energy that I just didn't have growing up.
Yeah.
So like it's interesting because it's like flipped basically.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't vulnerable enough, but now it's just like you kind of do go through that like I don't care anymore phase, where it's just like how you said, like, well, you technically do care, but you're not gonna show it, because like why would I show that to anyone? Like it's weird.
Yeah. I mean, I had to like take that as like a step for me. Just not caring though. Like I had to.
Yeah.
I had to take a step back because I cared too much.
Facts.
There's definitely like
A balance.
a real fine balance that you have to find like within yourself, like, because of course there's things where you have to care about, and then there's things where you don't want to care about it, and then you just gotta put yourself in the right position every time.
Also, setting boundaries with yourself, like.
Yeah.
That's
At one
very
point-
important.
At one point, I had no boundaries. I used to just spill like everything to people because I feel like I could trust these people. But like setting boundaries with like who you're giving that energy to, because people can take that energy. Like people could take your energy and
run with it, man.
run with it, literally. And I feel like people don't really take account. Like I don't know, like. I'm not gonna say I don't trust no one, but obviously there's gonna be that like
select few.
that select few where it's just like
definitely hearing a little British.
Trust issues. But it's just like having your guard up. Like I felt like my guard was way too up, where I just wasn't even open to anyone. Not even like friends, family. Like I didn't tell no one shit. But then at the end of the day, I realized that like that's not doing any good for me. Like I don't talk to nobody about shit. Like,
and it gets to a point like where like you don't allow yourself to like feel anything anymore, and you're just
such
just
a like
here,
at a
like,
fuck it, like whatever. Like,
that's not a fun.
So
place to be in.
genuine ass question. I'm not saying this at all to be like that, but like.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's a like defense mechanism? Do you think that
for sure.
So you think that there's something?
Trauma responses are real as fuck.
Yeah.
Real as fuck. And
even if we don't like recognize it.
During this whole healing journey I've been going through, like I'll notice like fuck, I'm going back to like bad habits.
Yeah.
But why am I acting like this? Oh, because there's always that one certain time that just fucked up everything else.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
There's just one thing that just fucked up everything else. Like, I guess I could just, I'm very open, so I'll just talk about it. But like, me not growing up with my dad, I would have little coping mechanisms with other people. I'm just like, oh, this is just because like, it's something I'm familiar with. It's a pattern that like, I have this wall so that I don't have to, really tackle the trauma, at least like where it stemmed from.
Yeah.
And it's just like, instead of healing it, people want to just ignore it and forget it. But
Yeah.
if we don't heal that shit,
It's just gonna be there.
It's just
gonna
gonna
start
be there.
stacking on it.
and then other people are gonna see like, you get this way, like when a certain type of situation happens.
Yeah.
And once you acknowledge where that's coming from, but you can admit that, like a lot of people don't want to admit shit, or like
Yeah.
their own, like they don't want to take accountability. And if you don't take accountability of like the toxic traits that you have, and everyone has them, like no one could say like, I'm not toxic. Like there's that one trait that you have that you don't. Shut up. Shut up.
Okay, we come
There's
back.
that one little trait that people have that you
I don't
might
think
not
toxic
think
is
it's
the right
toxic.
word,
Well,
though.
not toxic, but more
I
like,
say like,
maybe toxic for yourself. Not like, oh, like I can't be around you, but
What
like,
would the word be for you?
I think the word would be flaw.
Flaw.
yeah. No,
Because-
yeah, flaw.
Because I think
Facts.
that a flaw in being toxic or a toxic
Different.
trait differ. And
No, yeah. Actually,
like-
I agree with that. No, I agree with that.
because like a flaw to me is just like, oh, in my past not saying that I have, and I definitely have not, have cheated, right? And in my mind it was the right thing to do at that time, right? But I'm not continuing to go down that road, even though I
Yeah.
believe that once a cheater is always a cheater. But for those who don't believe in that, you know, at that exact moment, I wasn't happy, so I decided to go to therapy, or I decided to look into myself and be like, why did I cheat? And I resolved that within myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, and at that moment, that quote unquote toxic trait became into a flaw that had once
That
happened.
makes sense. No, yeah.
You know?
That sounds a lot better than like saying everything's toxic.
Yeah.
I do feel like the word toxic is like,
It gets mixed up a lot of
Yeah.
days.
I don't
Like,
I don't like
a
that
lot of
word
like
at all.
toxic stuff is really like poison.
facts.
So like something happened to me that was something that poisoned me, and depending on how I reacted to it, the reaction of that is, so like for instance, I get bit by like I get bit by a snake, right? I get bit by that snake, and when I get bit by that snake, that I either it becomes detrimental to myself, or somehow I know it doesn't work like this, but somehow I start radiating, or I turn into like, I have like venom, and I'm able to fight other people, and now I'm toxic.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? Or I guess you would say I'm venomous, but venomous and toxic is similar things.
Yeah. That makes sense. Cause I was gonna say like, maybe at the time it just feels toxic, until like you kind of tackle it, I guess.
Yeah.
Cause flaws are supposed to be like something you can't change, like it's just a natural flaw. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say people can change. Because, I mean,
People grow.
people grow. People might not change, but they'll grow. Two
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah.
Way two different things,
Yeah.
for sure. Damn.
But to answer your question from before, because I actually have not answered this question on the podcast. This is one of the ones that I've been kind of like elusive about, because nobody's really, because
What was
that
the
question
question
never
again?
came up. When did you realize that, or are you comfortable in your masculinity? When and how did you realize that? That focal point right before I went on to my labyrinth, and I talk about that shit a lot on the podcast. But right before I went on my labyrinth, I realized that something was not right in my life. Did not know what it was, but something was not right in my life. So I should not have been feeling this type of way. You know, and I realized I was a complete simp at that time. That was the focal point of when I realized I was a simp. Not the point where I realized my masculinity was fucked up. That's the point where I realized that I was a simp. And then after that, I hit another wall later on after I stopped messing with this girl. And then I realized that my masculinity was off. And then that's when I took the red pill. Or actually, I took the red pill while I was still talking to her. And then stuff happened, and then I went deeper into the red pill, and truly figuring out. Once I got off the red pill, I didn't rage instantly. I raged a little after, and I don't know if you guys know what the red pill rage is, but
you should explain.
Red pill rage. Red pill actually is not one thing. We talk about. I think we've talked about this before, but the red pill is not one thing. It's not one like solid thing. It's not like you can read it. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you can just tell somebody.
Yeah.
It's you accepting the facts of how life is. For instance, every day you walk down the street, everything's like bright. You know, a person says, "Oh, hello, how you doing today?" Or, I think a better example is this, because usually red pill is broke down with women a lot easier, because the red pill when it comes to politics and all that stuff is a lot more dense. So let me put it like this: you start talking to a girl, right? The girl, you guys aren't like really fucking around like that. You guys are just like talking, going on dates and shit, you know, just spending time together. Then, you know, you start to realize that you guys are going, every time you guys are going out, you're paying, you're doing all the sweet shit, and she's not really like feeling you like that. And then you finally pop the question, she's like, I just see you as a friend, right? So, you get hit with that. You get hit with that, and you're wondering like, why does she just see me as a friend? And so you do it again. You go out for another girl. Simps do this all the time. You stay friends with that girl. And
it doesn't help. It doesn't.
And in the Simps mind, it's like, okay, maybe it's not working right now. Maybe like later down the line, but you stay the same way. So
some people don't want to grow.
But you continue to go down that road. You go down with another girl, you know, and same thing happens, and you start to wonder like, why is this not happening? That's that blissful state. She's letting you know softly that I'm not aroused by you. I might be attracted because you might be cute, you know, and that's what pulled me in at first, but I'm not aroused by you. I can't see myself doing anything with you, you know? And so once you get past that, you know, you get that, you're like, why am I not arousing? You know what I'm saying? That's because you're not in the right position. Your femininity is, your pseudo-femininity, which a lot of Sims have, your pseudo-femininity is unattractive or it's unarousing.
It's too much.
It's too much. You know what I'm saying? So when you put it into that term, you start to see it like, oh man, I can't believe all these girls like, and then on top of that, you see female nature, which is like, they are attracted to being aroused by this, and they'll do anything or they'll treat you this type of way because you don't have it. So like, they'll have you pay for all that stuff, and then they'll go fuck somebody else. You know what I'm saying? They'll go fuck the dude who they're aroused by. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the day, once they get turned off by, or once the guy moves on, or he does some fuck shit, like fuck somebody else, right? They come back to you because you're there as a friend to comfort them, right? And
Do better.
And so the simp in his mind is like, I'm pissed. Like, why would they do this to me? And like, this shit don't make no sense. And now that they've stepped into the role of the, I guess you would call the arouser, or as the Red Pill community would refer to it as the alpha, but I would refer to it as just the masculine man, or a man who's on the route to becoming divine or superiorly masculine. They go through a period of Red Pill rage. Red Pill rage is a period of time where they just go around and they just fuck girls.
Okay.
Like
so
dog.
Touching on that.
Or they won't really, not necessarily like fuck them, but they'll definitely play girls. Like that's the whole point.
So would you say that you tapping into more of your masculinity was your defense mechanism?
No.
No?
This was the thing.
No?
So
Are you
and
sure?
so yeah,
Are you
yeah.
sure? Okay. No worries.
It's shocking This is why I was going to ask you earlier. Why did you feel the need to get into your feminine?
That's why when you were talking about that, I was like, shit, I'm going through so much self-reflection. Because, look, so my last relationship, I didn't, damn, I'm so, I just felt like, yeah, I just didn't, since I was too in touch with my masculinity and didn't have much of my femininity, but at the time my partner, I personally felt like was a little more
Feminine.
in tune with his femininity. So it was just like, I was like, fuck. So yeah, so I just felt like I didn't have that and it was just kind of hard for me to tap into that because I know that whole like nice guys finish last, like I know that's
that is so true. But I'm gonna tell you this: nice guys finish last, good guys finish on time, and dogs finish first.
Oh shit.
That's a soundbite.
That last one? Yeah. No, yeah. Because like I'm not gonna lie, the way you said like what the red pill rage was for like men, like
Look who's calling. Hold on a second, Joey's calling. Hold on a second, I'm finna call him on my laptop. He must have sensed it. He must have sensed the red pill talk going on. You understand me? He must have sensed it. The red pill talk. The red pill talk. He sensed my masculinity. He sensed the masculine vibes coming all the way from California to DC, and it took a little bit of time for them to
travel.
Exactly. But once they traveled, he immediately touched in with it. You know what I'm saying?
At
So
first I didn't know you was talking about, and then it hit me. I was like, oh, snap.
but keep going.
High school.
High school shit. No, but like that was something that I felt like I needed to work on because, as a girl, not being tapped into my femininity and my emotions, it like was hurting other people, and I was like, whoa, like it was a bit.
And you didn't enjoy hurting other people.
No, it's just it's not who I am, and I was just like, I can't blame him for him being like that's just his natural. Like personality, just a little more feminine, like just more in touch with the emotions where I wasn't ready for that because I didn't have that yet.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I don't think that is natural.
No.
For guys. For women, or okay, I won't say that.
No, like he was more naturally like.
Yeah, I understand. Like in his nature, like, but at least for me, like, I'm gonna explain why I didn't resort to being a feminine man. Because there are feminine men out there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not just talking about gay men. Like, there's a lot of actual, like, masculine gay men.
So you're saying it's, like, influences?
For sure. Yeah. For sure.
It's how it's first and foremost, it's how you're raised. Like, for instance, a lot of single mothered sons are feminine at first. They're simps. They're raised to be simps because their sister is a alpha woman, quote unquote, masculine woman, but it decided to.
He called back.
Yeah, he called. I'm about to call him right now. But they decide to it's not their fault because they don't know that, but because the mother herself is forced to be in two roles. The masculine and the feminine.
That's a
which is
whole
crazy.
other conversation.
That is a whole other conversation.
No facts.
But in terms of him and his actual nature, it depends on where he wants to be in life and where he fits in society, right? So, for instance, if he wants to, bro, we're in a podcast right now, bro. It's so failed. It failed.
That's crazy.
Failed, bro. It failed.
You was at the gym.
All right, we're doing a podcast right now, bro. Hey, say what's up. Say what's up to the podcast. We in a podcast right now. Say what's up to the podcast.
Oh shoot! What's up, Black Lotus? It's your co-host Josiah Jacobs here. I'm not in the podcast, but I'm here.
Bro, we having a conversation about masculinity and femininity. I'm putting them on game. I already described the red pill. This is the first time we've ever described the red pill on the Black Lotus.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I swear.
I could have sworn I heard y'all.
No, we talk about the red pill, but
not
this is
talk
like
about
what it means.
I actually
Being
gave
on
the
depth,
podcast the red pill.
Okay.
Bro, I feel like we've talked about it, but I don't know. Actually, I don't think we have.
Yeah, because we've been trying to stay away from it. You know what I mean?
No,
But you guys have a girl here now, so.
We talked about it
We
on
have
Justin's podcast and on Gavin's podcast.
Yeah, but we didn't say it on our podcast. That's fair. Yeah.
Bro. Get down bites from Justin's podcast too, because we was spitting on there.
We was spitting. But what you finna say?
Bro, I don't know if I can read this book, bro.
You talking about man not?
Yes.
you get to Eldridge Cleaver's part?
No, it's not about the content. It's about the content, but it's about the fucking book.
Is it the vocabulary? The vocabulary is deep.
Bro, this shit is so hard. I can really understand. Bro, I understand, but I can't imagine the concepts in my mind because this shit is just so fucking hard.
Bro. Like I have to read it again, or I have to reread it, but I'm halfway done, bro. Once you keep you just gotta read through it, bro. Once you read it, once you just you gotta bulldoze all the way through, and you gotta just think about it surface level, and then the second time go underneath and then look at it that way.
But I want to understand though. I don't
it's hard to read.
I read that shit to understand it.
Yes.
And I want to understand every idea in this book. But
I'm saying you have to read it twice. You have to read it twice.
But nigga, I have so many books. I don't have time to read this shit twice.
Hey, I mean, you acted like I ain't got that many books, bro. But I'm on chapter 3.
Y'all reading the same book right
Yeah,
now? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
We do this all the time. We did this with Black Lotus. Yeah.
So cute.
Wait, Michael, is it fine? Okay.
Yeah. You got the camera right here, bro.
So I'm can the audience hear me?
Yeah, I used to hear you.
For real?
Yeah.
Alright, for sure. Alright, I'm not gonna hop in the I'm finna cut it.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, bro, this shit's so hard to read, bro. This shit's so hard to read. And bro, Michael, I be reading for real, bro. I be doing this. But bro, this is hard as fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Bro, that book is bro, the book is just crazy, bro. Especially when she gets to Eldridge Cleaver. Bro, bro. Read until you get to Eldridge Cleaver's part, bro, and then it's just gonna blow your mind. I promise you. It really and honestly, it just makes you question what it means to be a black man. It really does. It makes you just question everything about it. I still am a little shaky about it. What it truly means.
So is it the
vocabulary?
It's advanced?
It's damn near master level, wow. Master degree level. Okay. And I'm barely able to understand it. Yeah.
This book is master's PhD degree.
Yeah.
PhD degree level type of
yeah,
shit.
It is.
This vocabulary is insane. The concepts that he's trying to describe in this book is just it's some shit that I've never even really even thought about in my mind.
Wow.
It's some shit I really can't comprehend yet. I don't know. This shit is hard as fuck to read, bro. This shit is hard.
And when I get to my intellectual bag, I could really talk like that now.
No, the thing is when I read a book like this, I like to take notes too, though. I take notes while I read this shit, and in order for me I have to take notes after I finish a chapter or a section.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to fucking write. I didn't understand.
Bro, I felt that, bro. I felt that so hard. Cause it's the same thing for me. After I get, cause I read my book in the car, and after I get out, I'm just wow, What the fuck did I just read?
Bro, like,
bro, wait till you get to the little, bro, I'm just telling you, wait till you get to little Jesus, and it's just gonna just, like...
Alright, bro, I'm finna keep going, though, bro. Hey, I like that hat, though.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna have to steal that from you.
No, because I got this from a special somebody. But anyway,
And wait, Michael, you see what I text? SMV 500.
I wonder if it picked up.
I know, right? No dead ass. Maybe.
I just was talking about this. I literally said on the podcast, bro, probably about 30 minutes ago, I said, it's an open market.
Bro. Options trading, bro. Options trading.
It's a pass, nigga. It's a fucking pass, nigga.
SMV 500.
Bro, we trading up stocks, nigga. It's trending up right now, nigga. Come on, stop playing with these niggas.
Hell yeah. Hey, I'm gonna let y'all get back to it though.
Understand me? Say bye to the podcast, brother.
Alright, bro. I love all you guys, bro. If y'all listen to this, bro, like I fucking love you. Like I fucking love you. Like tell me what you thought about the episode, even though I wasn't in this motherfucker. And it's just who else is in this? Caden and who else?
It's Caden, and we got Jules over there, and we got Zai.
What's going on?
Hi. Let's pop it.
Gang over here.
Appreciate y'all coming on the podcast, though, for real.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all coming in.
Yes, sir.
But,
Appreciate y'all.
but, all right, bro. I'll talk to you, bro.
All right, one.
Call me after it's over.
All right,
bro. One, bro.
One.
All right, dog.
Hold on. We're not trying to get demonetized. S&P 500. That's actually hella funny. But I told you, it's the masculine vibes. Like you
No,
just
I get
felt
it
them.
though,
You know?
because you were talking about.
But yeah,
the whole,
back onto you. Like, why do you feel that you needed to be feminine?
I just wasn't open enough. It was doing me more harm being too masculine as a girl, because I was not in touch with my emotions at all.
And see,
And that hurt him.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck. At the time, I didn't know that because I wasn't self-aware of where I came from yet.
mm-hmm.
But like, you know.
Did you ever think that you should try to be with feminine women?
What do you mean by that?
So with polarity levels, I don't know if we talked about it, but polarity levels, it's like this. Within a relationship, there has to be a masculine energy and there has to be a feminine energy, and corresponding, there has to be an equal amount on both sides. So if I'm this much masculine and then this much feminine, then the woman would have to be this much feminine and this much masculine. You know what I'm saying? And then that would be 100%. But in your terms, you said you were more masculine than feminine.
Yeah.
So did you ever look for the corresponding version of that feminine, which would probably be found within a feminine woman?
Are you asking me if I'm gay?
No, I mean.
I'm just kidding.
Or even within a feminine. Or I guess since you said it didn't work with masculine men.
Okay.
And also, just saying that person just probably hasn't reached that. He hasn't reached that you know what I'm saying. He hasn't reached the red pill yet. And some people who take the red pill also realize that, now that I know how I am, it might be best for me to stay here. And just adjust myself a little bit. Adjust myself a little bit. But sometimes being within that feminine, I'm not saying that all at-home fathers are feminine, but some are, and they're okay with that.
Yeah.
And some dudes who have a 9-to-5, or, some men who are very rich who just, kind of
Spit it out.
Kind of just cuck out. It kind of just cuck out, man.
So basically,
So I guess the real question is, why did you choose to not necessarily like change yourself, but to grow into the feminine?
Well, I think I could say that as a girl, I personally did go through the red pill stage, and realized, it was, at the time I thought it was cool because, like, I was still heartbroken and I was still figuring myself out. And there was times like I didn't feel like I needed to be in a relationship or I needed to be tapped into my femininity because I felt like it was just so weak. So that independency in me was just something I really liked. After a while, I just realized, like, it's not something that I wanted. And I was just like, but I had to go through that phase to realize that, like, maybe I do want someone to actually, like, take care of me. Maybe I don't want to be, like, all just by myself and doing, like, it's nice to be taken care of, and I just think, as a girl, I just didn't have that yet. Like, I didn't see that part of me yet.
Yeah.
It was too masculine.
Yeah, for surely. And I will say this, that it's not the fact, at least for a man, that we don't like getting taken care of. Mm-hmm. We just get taken care of in a different way.
Facts.
Facts. The best way I could say for symbolism is this. When you cuddle with a woman, that's it's very symbolic of how the relationship is polarity-wise. Okay. If you like to be little spoon, then you are in the feminine. If you are in the, and not all the, like, I'm not saying like once in a while men like to be little spoon, like masculine men like to be little spoons every once in a while, but the majority of the time we like to hold, instead of being held. Like we like to feel like we are securing something, and that's how exactly, you know what I'm saying? And so that's how you can just tell, like, if it's somebody's being a masculine or if somebody's in the feminine.
It's just like, I did have to go through that phase to figure out that's not. It's initially not what I actually wanted.
And so to answer your question, for me, I discovered I wanted to be masculine because of what I wanted to do with my life. It wasn't just because of, my brother wanted to be masculine. It's because, actually, I guess in a sense it was. But not for the reason of me just being a bandwagon. Not just me wanting to do what he wanted to do. It's more because our paths in life are so, like, close that if I wasn't masculine, we wouldn't be able to achieve the goals that I want to and that he wants to as well. So for me to be on this road in life, I have to be masculine. And it's not saying that like society's forcing me to be masculine. I need to be masculine in order to get the outcome that I want in my life. I want to be able to leave a legacy for my children to take over. And I also want a wife that is feminine. Right. So therefore, I need to be masculine. Right.
Fuck, what was my question? Do you feel like your femininity was the reason, like, you were just you weren't, you put yourself, or you didn't put yourself first? Do you feel like being too in tune with your femininity was a problem? That was kind of a problem?
That was a problem for me. Mm-hmm. Now, for others, that might not be the case. Right. Because, hey, this is one of the songs that really put me into my, like, I get into my real masculine frame when I listen to this nigga Brent, bro. Like,
but so toxic. But he's so good. He's so good.
I remember when I first started listening.
He's so good.
But anyway, so that's why for me, I had to be masculine. And so I guess the invert of, or I guess you would actually be the perfect example of the invert of the red pill for women, because you went from the masculine trait and switched into feminine because you realized that you weren't happy being not necessarily independent, but I'll say, but actually being angry and not being emotional vulnerably. And the opposite for emotional vulnerability for the feminine would be intellectually vulnerable for the masculine, because it is very important for a man to be intellectually vulnerable because he won't be able to like seize the opportunities that he wants to in life. So like if he's bullheaded and he does not want to learn new things, that's a very important thing for a man. You have to learn new things.
Gotta let people put you
Yeah,
on.
exactly. You're not going to be able to get the connections that you really want in life.
Yeah.
Does it have to do with like the ego? Like
Yeah.
The male ego?
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
I experienced ego death and emo death at a I'm glad I experienced both of those at an early age.
Mm-hmm.
My homie Akil would say I have not experienced ego death yet. But we're still debating about that.
I feel like that's a problem I had too. I mean, asking you guys because you guys grew up with me, I don't know, like how I was before, I feel like. I don't know, like I feel like I've changed a lot since like back then. Like everyone used to say I was really mean or just kind of quiet. Like I didn't really talk to anyone like that. I don't know, like me back then would not be comfortable like talking to you guys about little shit like this because I was just like, ew, vulnerability, fucking weird. But like as a girl, like I needed that, like because if I was too masculine with a man, that means that they didn't feel like they can confide in me because they didn't feel like I had the emotions to be able to take that, you know, like yeah, because I feel like that was also one of my problems being too masculine, where I didn't know how to take his emotions. And I feel like that's another reason why, like, guys had such a hard time, like, talking about shit with girls, because they don't feel like they can.
Yeah.
And that was my problem, because I wasn't in tune with my femininity at all. And it kind of is that whole, like, male ego thing, where you don't want to feel like you see all that emotion as a sign of weakness when it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
But I understand that there's other people who just aren't ready for that conversation yet, or ready to take that in yet.
Facts.
And I was there, like that's who I was back then, but I had to tackle that in myself because I realized that wasn't helping me mentally or emotionally at all.
Right.
And then that was like projecting onto other people. I'm just like, that's not who I am though, you know? So I had to change that. I had to change my ways.
I had to change my ways.
I had to change my fucking ways. But yeah.
That's surprising too.
What other questions did you have?
You want to get off of the polaric talk?
Or I was just curious.
I mean, we can go back to the initial question of just music.
Oh yeah, we didn't list our.
We didn't list our top 5, but I like the conversation. I like how it's going right now. I like the feel of it. Like, I guess my question to both of you guys is like, after hearing at least, not necessarily my truth, not facts. Everything I just said is the truths of many. It's not a fact though. It's not something, because a fact is something that's 100%, or it is true down to a decimal. For if you took a survey or something, it's like a statistic. You know what I'm saying? So after hearing my truths, how do you guys feel you guys' masculinity is? Like, where do you guys plot your guys' masculinity is? Like, how I see the spectrum is like this. It's like the ultra masculine, you got the divine masculine, you have the simp, then you have the equilibrium, and then you have the masculine, feminine, or you have the masculine women, and then you have the divine feminine, and then you have the ultra feminine. So where would you guys place you guys?
I'll let you go first because I gotta think about it.
Yeah, I'm probably right in between simp and what's it called?
Divine masculine.
Divine masculine.
Yeah.
There's a sweet spot in there.
There is.
There was a time where I was way higher on the divine masculine, but then someone brought me down.
You feel me?
And it's not in like a bad way at all. It's not in a bad way at all. I'm still in that sweet spot where, you know,
that sweet spot tends to be where most guys are who are in relationships in their 20s.
Right.
Yeah. I'm
definitely in that spot where, like, you know, I'm on my shit. I'm on top of my shit.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything I can for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that would be on the top half of the divine masculine?
It's like 70% of my energy is towards myself.
Yeah.
But then that 30%, the rest of it is all for, my partner.
Yeah. Okay.
Where like, and when I give them that 30%, I'm all in. You know what I'm saying?
So do you find yourself creating a world for them?
No.
In a sense, that's how I would describe. That's how I would describe what I envision myself doing as a simp. Like,
no, I think
these flies are really going crazy out here. Like, I thought I was
attracted to the light. So
that's what it is. That's what it is.
I think I'm not like in a world with them. I'm just, we coexist in our worlds.
Okay.
Let me check the camera.
I was literally just thinking about that.
Yeah.
I was
might
like,
be dead.
I knew it. I had a feeling. I literally had a feeling.
I wonder when it cut off.
I literally had a feeling. Do you want to record on my phone?
Yeah. I'll record the second half.
Can you turn it off?
Yeah.
I was literally gonna say, I wonder if the camera. It was just in my head, but I didn't want to say anything.
I'm glad you did. Man, I wonder how long we've been going.
Man,
I'm saying, bro.
because we've been talking about some good ass shit.
It's good ass conversation going on right now.
Fuck. Damn.
This Isaiah Rashad and Shorty.
What?
I was thinking if it was Isaiah Rashad.
Oh. That's crazy.
I've listened to his new album so much. So much, like, from the first day it came out.
It looks a whole lot better on. Like than I thought it was gonna look. Oh.
What's that?
There we go.
Alright, now that, as I was saying, like,
Yeah.
I realize now I did go through, like, a slight red pill phase.
Yeah.
And then I was on the red pill. I was on that high.
You on a rage? Did you go through a rage? Do you think you went through a rage?
I went through a rage. It wasn't. It's not as bad as like, it might have or it could have been.
I mean, everybody goes. I mean, like I personally didn't go through as bad of a rage as most men did. I just went. I'm not gonna say it. I'll just say I did not go through as much of a red pill rage as most men did. It was a little.
Okay.
I didn't destroy the game as much as I should have. As I should have. As I should have.
Oh my
chest,
god. That's hilarious.
But as I was on the come down of it where I was just like, dang, like I'm tired of this shit. Like I just need to, find something that's for me. Find something that I can come back to.
Yeah.
And then,
For sure.
And
it's been good right now. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Love that.
it's so amazing to me that like it's amazing to me like that men go through this, right? They go through the red pill, right? Don't identify it, don't know what it is, but in their life it's just individual progress through their lives. And I honestly question, like, if I never received the red pill when I did, like, forced to take it, by watching those videos, making sure I'm, like, knowing the game, knowing, like, knowing I need to take care of myself, knowing that, knowing what I need to do in life in order to get what I want, right? I wonder, where would I be?
Facts. No facts. Because I think about the same thing, too. Like, if this were to happen, or if I were to go through my red pill phase, like, later in life,
yeah,
I'd be like,
Man, you missed
fuck, man. Like,
yeah.
shit.
But I mean, like, literally, like, for me, like, I literally sat down. Somebody sent me, like, somebody in my life was like, Joey was like, you're being a simp right now. I was like, I know, but I don't know how to get out of it. He was like, watch Steph is Cold. Watch AMS. Watch Coach Greg Adams. Don't watch him. Don't watch him.
I've watched like one video and I was like, oh,
I've never heard
shit.
Yeah, don't watch Greg Adams.
I'll probably have to see it.
But
There's a lot of shit on
and you know, and then towards the end of my journey, watch Kevin Samuels.
I
Honestly,
heard about him too.
Kevin Samuels is pretty funny. It's a pretty funny dude.
Give you a good laugh.
Great laugh. Ma'am, you're average at best. He's a menace. He's a menace. He's a menace. But I fucking love that dude. Yeah, honestly, like sitting down, like actually getting forced to, like, you guys learned this through your lives. I had to learn this by somebody telling me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like you guys experienced the red pill through life.
You actually have to be taught.
Exactly.
That's
I had to
hard.
be taught, you know?
That's hard.
So I wonder, like, if I was never taught this, when in my life would I have learned this?
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Facts.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
Or would I have just been continuing down that line of just being, like, progressing to being just a simp for the rest of my life, wondering, man,
Right.
wonder why do all these girls just keep treating me like this? Like, why am I being a trick? Like, I was gonna be on like the path of being a trick. Like,
Fuck.
a trick?
It's okay.
I would have been that nigga. I would have been that nigga that Larry June was talking about. I would have been a trick. I would have been paying for these girls in hills and shit.
Hey.
Nigga, what? And they would have just been like, thanks.
Ooh.
Mike,
Suck it to me.
Mike, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?
Like, dude, I would have
Are you
been
okay?
like, what? That like, I'm just glad. Like, Joey, I know you were just on here, bro, but I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, bro. Like,
Real bro move right there.
like for real.
No, because some people do need that for real, and people
Need
be so
it.
blinded. They're like, nah. I'm just like,
Exactly. Like, it's crazy. They'll be like, they'll actually like defy reality, and they'll
Facts.
really be in the blue pill. They'll just be like, she's not really doing me like that. She's not really like fucking on him. Like, he's just a friend. Like, he's just her brother.
How well is your intuition?
Huh?
How well is your intuition?
I know now. See, I think this is the one
It's
advantage.
whack.
This is the one advantage that being taught the red pill, you have an advantage, because like I've talked to people who have learned the red pill through life experience.
Yeah.
The one thing they don't know is female nature or feminine nature. So like they don't know about hypergamy. They don't know about why women do the things that they do.
Facts.
So, but they do know that there's something wrong, and they do know that women, you know, like certain things. They just don't know why they like them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, my intuition is A1. I know I know what's going to happen before it happens.
Facts.
Which is why I don't do some of the things that I would do if I were
Yeah.
naturally, you know, in that role.
Yeah.
So, for instance,
Shit.
one of my homies was talking to a girl, and he was telling us, he was like, bro, like, you know, I've been hitting her shit for a minute, and, you know, we've been cool, and she called me, you know, she one of her friends called, and was like, she put his face on the phone, and was like, and then her friend who was on the phone said, oh, you guys look cute together. And in my mind, I was like, she's gonna ghost you.
As a girl,
She's gonna ghost you. But see, that doesn't make sense to people who haven't learned
no,
female.
I'm in tune with that though.
They don't know that because
Yeah.
they don't know what that meant. What that meant at that moment was that she's fucking with other dudes. She wanted to show that she was with dude, right? So
I'm with.
exactly. No, she didn't even say. He said she didn't even say that. She just went like this
Let me
and laid on his
reposition
chest
myself
like that.
that number 1, 2, 3, or 4.
No, yeah, because
For
as a
real,
girl,
though.
as
Like,
a
for
girl,
real.
if you was really fucking with him, you wouldn't have known.
But I mean, like,
You
of
wouldn't have wanted to
course,
do that.
of
I know
course,
for sure.
it was. I'll say this. Perspective. You gotta take all the angles in perspective with that.
Right.
And there's a lot of different angles that went into that. Like, I knew that they hadn't been talking for that long. I also knew that he was just smashing. There was not like too many dates and shit.
Yeah.
So.
You knew what was going on.
Exactly. Like, you know.
Did he know what was going on?
No.
At all?
Oh, wow.
Blinded?
I mean, he had some. He was going through the red pill.
Falling soldier.
Because I was
You
gonna
know
say,
what
like,
I'm
was his intentions with her is the same as her?
No.
Or was he actually?
No,
feeling
he
her?
was fucking with her.
Damn.
Yeah. So.
That hurt.
So, but it was only like 4 dates in. But he was like, yeah, I fuck with her. I can see myself, fucking her for a minute. And so I was like, that's tough, bro. But then I was like, the nature, like nature. So I was like, but it's okay though, cause like really looking through what I've seen in my life and what's happened to me, like a similar situation actually happened to me, but I hadn't known it was coming, or I didn't know, because one thing that like Red Pill does to you, you can see situations a little better from the outside perspective. So like if you're watching your homie, you can see what's about to happen before it does.
Oh, yeah.
But when you're going through it, it takes you a couple more seconds
sure.
to,
For
really figure out what's
sure.
going on. And that's because your emotions are involved. But looking from an outside perspective, and that's why a lot of people be like, man, I really just can't take my own advice. Like, I don't understand.
Bruh.
Like, but no, like, that's true. Like, you can't take your own advice because it takes you a couple more seconds to actually, like, figure it out yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But the thing that, for Red Pill, that did to me was, like, it actually helped me because, like, now I'm able to see, like, this is what happened, and I know how to act accordingly to that. On top of that, I was able to take advice. So like, this is a good thing about having like Red Pill brothers. Like Joey, like if I'm describing a situation like what's going on with a girl, he'll be able to give me honest truth.
Right.
And he'll be able to tell me what's going on before it actually happens.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, I need to be cautious of this. I need to act accordingly. I need to plan my steps out. Because like a lot of Red Pill men now, I don't know if it's the same for you guys, because I've never even thought about this, but after going through the Red Pill, you start to plan out things. So like, I plan dates out before I even talk to the girl about the date. So like, and I plan, not only do I plan out the event, but I plan out different scenarios that I'm going to be trying to do. Right. The thing about that though is, which I do need to start practicing a little more, is once you reach past a certain step, continuing to have that consistency. Because it's hard because your emotions start to get involved a little bit more the deeper you get into a relationship, and it starts to merge, but you still need to have that. You still need to have your polarity level, because once you start slipping, then they're gonna have to start making up for the other half, and they're gonna start being more and more unaroused, and to the point where they're just unaroused completely. Right. You know what I mean? So
it's breaking habits.
Yeah.
What's the question you asked him? You're asking both of us, but you don't answer.
I was asking, where do you guys, after seeing the truths, where do you guys
see yourself?
Yeah, where do you see yourself
On
masculinity?
the scale.
On the polarity scale, spectrum.
I would probably throw myself like somewhere in the middle as well.
So like that divine masculine.
Yeah, because
around the divine masculine.
Yeah, like in the middle. Because at the same time, I don't like. It's not fun not being able to feel like.
Yeah, it does take work though to get to that spot. Yeah. Like usually people just hover around it, and I'm getting closer to it only because I'm working, because I know what I'm working towards. Yeah. And some men actually just end up working towards it, don't even know. Like for instance, Joey's grandfather was the divine masculine. the stories that Joey just describes to me, he had no idea he was a divine masculine, but he ended up being the divine masculine. Right? He rest in peace. But it was just amazing, like the fact that he ended up being the superiorly masculine man, and didn't even know this. He had no recollection, or I don't know if he had any knowing of him being the divine masculine, but he ended up being like that. But he knew what he had to work towards, and his goals aligned with being the divine masculine.
And I personally have like certain people in my life that like make me feel safe like with my emotions. So
Facts.
I think that's played like a really big part. And like, there's people in my life, you know, I'm not gonna say no names, but like I don't want to be the type to not be emotionally available for them because they mean that much to me.
Yeah.
They're important in my life. So I don't want to ever be at the point where I'm not able to feel for someone when like there's someone really special, and ruin something that could be amazing.
Yeah, that's facts.
That's
like I felt that for real.
It's that boundary.
Yeah.
Setting that boundary for yourself and other people too. Like, I feel like during my red pill phase, I guess you can say, like I didn't have that boundary for myself.
Yeah.
Didn't have no boundaries. I personally thought that I was just like, oh, I'm milking the game right now. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, like fresh.
Putting
after,
up 40 pieces.
Yeah.
Putting up 40
Whoa,
pieces.
relax,
I don't know about all
relax.
that.
I mean,
Whoa,
like,
relax.
I feel like describe, like, I don't really want to, I'm not going to describe that. But it means a different thing for each person.
Yeah.
Like, putting up a 40 piece could mean, you know,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because, like, for me, it was never, me going around and
bodying 40.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I have certain values that, like,
Facts.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't personally.
And that's the thing, like, I didn't have boundaries, but that was because I feel like during my red pill phase, I didn't know. I thought I was, like, it's not that I was healing, but I was just like, oh, like, I'm doing what the fuck ever, like, I don't give a fuck anymore. But in reality, it was a trauma response.
Yeah, you think it's you growing. And,
I thought it was me, like, oh, I'm not heartbroken anymore.
That's another conversation.
I was like, oh, I'm not heartbroken anymore. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm doing whatever. But in reality, it was me realizing that I craved that male validation.
Yeah, it was.
Because it's something that I was struggling with.
Y'all hearing it, man? I be preaching this all the time. It's the pseudo masculine.
Yeah.
It's that defense mechanism because you didn't face that fact at that moment. You know, and people talk to me about this all the time and be like, no, I'm not faking this.
Yeah.
This is me for real.
Right.
Yeah. And it could be your truth. You know what I'm saying? But those people, like, I can't take that as like a valid statement only because of one thing. You never really looked at yourself and was like, what do I really want out of life?
Yeah, hell no.
You're just going down the path and, you know, you're seeing
You're
that this
in the
is...
moment. Too fucking in the moment. Where I just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
But then I had to go through that to realize, like, it's not really what I wanted. I was like, maybe I do want to settle. Like, I do want to be taken care of. Like, but, you know, it's hard for girls to talk about that because,
yeah. Because, like, a lot of men out here are either dogs or simps. And, I'll say this. Nothing against the dogs nor the simps, but it does take a lot more. It takes strength. It takes strength to become that balance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it takes strength to stay on your purpose. So how I would see it is like this: the strength-wise, it would go divine masculine, ultra masculine, and then simp, because simp are just weak dudes. Because they just haven't taken the strength to be like, I don't want to be stepped on. I don't want to keep giving myself to people. But at the same time, this is the most comfortable. Yeah. Even though I keep getting hurt, this is the most comfortable for me because I don't have to put any energy. Because I don't have to work on myself.
Sometimes
I'm just helping other people work on themselves.
Exactly.
To kind of like
shock you. Yeah. And that's what I was getting to earlier. That's what I was getting at earlier. Like, it's like, it wasn't the fact that she changed me. She shocked me.
Yeah.
she shocked me into reality. She shocked me into having to take that red pill, and then me taking the red pill by watching all this red pill content, it gave me even more fuel to help me launch me into this journey that I want to get into.
Sense.
You know what I mean?
Like it kind of clicked.
Yeah. It just made sense. Yeah, exactly. It just made sense to me. Like, like I really was. I wasn't who I wanted to be, and I really wanted to change my life. So I grew into the masculine. Simple as that. Simple as that.
That's the same for me, but switched.
Switch, yeah.
I mean, I was too masculine. I was just like, that's not who I am. Like, I don't want to be called an asshole. Like, everyone just thought I was just like too mean, or just I didn't talk about my emotions. So like, everyone just like kind of assumed I was gonna be some type of way. But I was like, when in reality, I just didn't know how to convey my emotions yet, or like I just wasn't open to talking about shit like that yet, because it's not something I knew. Like, I was raised on tough love. Like, in my family, we didn't say I love you to each other. We didn't hug each other like that. Like, we weren't affectionate. It's very quiet love, you know, like nothing. So it's just, affection to me was weird because it was so foreign. I was like,
man, that's so.
Like, what the fuck?
Why you touching?
You feel like it literally stems from like that shit. Like, I used to like make it an excuse to be like, oh well, I'm like this because it was like that. Like, I didn't have this back then. But then I realized, like, if I make, oh, I'm just like this, an excuse, where the fuck am I gonna go? I'm not gonna grow, like, mentally or emotionally. Like, people don't want to acknowledge, like, where the shit is coming from. Like, some people don't want to grow. Like, they're not gonna tell you, like, oh, well, that's just how I am. Sorry, that's just how I am.
For me,
it takes strength. I was just saying, it takes strength not to go with the flow of life.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I was saying, for me, it's like almost like a fear factor, because like I just like you see someone in front of you who is like amazing, right? And then like you think like, imagine like me not being emotionally available for this person,
Right.
and like I'll never forgive myself. Like,
Just
you know what
fucking
I mean?
that.
Like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you miss out on a lot of blessings that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes, like, I really
sure.
question, like,
It's like I'm trying to live life and feel. I'm trying to do all.
yeah, like, philosophy-wise, like, I really question, like, cause like a lot of the, never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
Why not?
I'm not gonna say that.
Why
You
not?
got to.
Nah, I'm not gonna say that.
You're already halfway there.
But see, this is the thing.
Curiosity
I can
kills me.
honestly just say something, and you guys would never know exactly what I was thinking. So that's what's so funny when people see like, no, just say what you're saying. Let's just say what you're gonna say. I could literally just be like, well, for me it was just like, I just never understood why cats were cats, and you would never know what I was thinking. You'd be like, oh damn, that's deep.
Right, that's deep.
Shit.
What the
What are you talking
Me
about?
neither.
What do you mean by that?
But no, actually, now that I say that, it's actually kind of close to what I was gonna say. It's just like I never understood why, or I never understood why girls were the way they were before. But now I understand that, and I kind of wonder, like, if I was the man I was supposed to be back then, how would that have changed?
Right.
But I don't dwell in the past, because I also know that that's how they were back then. And I saw their, and once you take that red pill, you see their flaws even more, and it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me.
Because
Like,
I didn't know how to, like, I didn't really know how guys work either. I was just like, why do y'all think like that? But once I got into that phase, I was like, oh, it makes so much sense.
we can talk about guy
Makes
psychology a little
so
bit as
much
well.
sense.
Honestly,
I'm open. Shit. Let me know. Like, I feel like that's fucking helpful, especially like being in a relationship with someone who's, I mean,
We gotta learn how
Mostly
to
unavailable?
understand each other.
no, they're definitely emotionally available, but like even he himself would talk to me about how like it's a learning process. He himself
it is.
talking about how he's trying to break old habits, because he's like, that's not who I want to be. That's not who I am. And like, obviously I know it's hard for guys to open up sometimes, but like as a girl, like is asking you to like speak up about your emotions. Like, is that annoying? Like, because I know some guys like I don't want to talk about it, but it's just
If I
like
don't want to talk about it, I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm not even going to act a certain way. I realized that lately, like, it's kind of ironic that a guy, at least for me, like, if I'm pissed off at a situation, I'm not going to show it.
right.
It's easier for me not to show it than for me to show it now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For
So, like, a lot of people wouldn't even know that, like, I don't funk with a whole bunch of people anymore. And I've fixed it with a couple people, but I don't funk with a whole lot of people anymore. But these people were like core members of my life. So
Whew. Facts.
like you wouldn't even be able to tell that though, based off of how close I'm staying to this grind.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? At
I
least
just
from the
feel
public eye, I don't know about my close people. But because I like previously, I would have been complaining about like, oh, how this person's
I used to do
a
it all
bitch.
the time.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's just like if it served me no purpose, why am I still dwelling on it? It's not doing shit for me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the power of the tongue, so fucking powerful.
Oh,
The
It
more
is.
I talk,
Words are spells, man.
bro. The more I talk, the more like I see how it's like affecting me in my own personal life. Where like, if I just to be like, well, that's just how it is. That's how it is.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. Yeah, dwelling on the past is just obviously it's easier said than done. Like people aren't really out of that phase yet, but
Yeah.
sometimes just the private life is better for certain people.
Yeah.
But not everyone. Some people do like to just have everything known, but that's just like their own personality.
Yeah.
They like to talk. They like to have that attention on them.
Spotlight.
You feel me? But
Nothing wrong with that. It's just
there's nothing wrong with that. That's just how they are.
Yeah.
It's just not how I am. So I just realized that like
I'm the complete opposite of that.
mhm,
Sure.
it's like, but I used to be like that.
Yeah.
I used to like having like not the spotlight, but like I felt like I was very in the mix with hella people.
Yeah.
But I realized like it wasn't doing me any good. Like I know everyone's just like, oh, you know, my circle just keeps on getting smaller and all that. It's like it's true. Like you have to realize that not everyone is rooting for you the way you want them to, and that's okay. They're just on their own path. They gotta focus on their own shit. But if we're too worried about them and what they think about us, then like
I feel like everybody wants to just feel love so bad, and then it gets to a point where
we can't even give
seek
that
it.
though.
We seek it in like the wrong ways.
Facts. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like just keeping people around just
Yeah.
because you're so comfortable with them, knowing that it's probably someone that shouldn't even be around. Like
Yeah.
you
Like,
know.
I'm reading a book right now the author said that you're like the average of the 5 people you hang around.
Facts. No, yeah, and I don't know. I feel like, especially like growing up in our town where everyone was so close. Growing up, like we thought that everyone would be so like, you know, like we thought the bonds were gonna last, and everyone's just like, you know,
Yeah.
not all high school friendships last. Like obviously some do, but like there's just that comfortability of just being so familiar with someone where you don't want to lose that, but realizing that they serve no beneficial purpose in your life. Like,
Yeah.
so what's the point of like keeping them around?
Yeah.
Because that's energy you're giving off to people that isn't even reciprocated, you know. And it's just like it's draining
Yeah.
for you to have
Oh.
to, for you to like have to, you know, give all these other people energy when you know it's like
See, it's spider.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like,
Coming down right here.
just grab it.
It's probably
slapped it.
chilling on you right now.
no, I slapped it. It's on the floor.
I don't know.
I slapped it. I slapped it. I slapped it.
I feel like once friends last long, like through not just years but like trials, like
Yeah.
That's a
Tests and
that's a
friendships.
very good point.
once the friendship has been tested and it's still there and it's still strong, it's past friendship.
Yeah.
That's a
That
great
is
point.
family.
That's
That is
family.
brother. That is sister.
No, yeah, and
It has to be battle tested.
Yeah.
It
I
has
feel
to.
like I do personally feel like there's people in your life who are just meant to be in there for lessons, And once they serve their purpose in your life, once they taught you that lesson,
or for like an NPC, you know what I'm saying? Like an
They were just there for
you
them.
know what I'm
just-
saying? Like they could be like a very important
extra.
NPC, but they're still like an NPC. You know, it should be like it's not multiplayer at all. It's not an RPG. It's just they're just an NPC. They're a non-player character. Like
Yeah.
like
Just fillers.
you know what I'm saying? Like they're just there for the cutscenes. Like but
Yeah.
like for them they're like all the cutscenes, but they're just there for the
Yeah.
cutscenes.
That does make sense, though. But yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, we hold on to people. And that's
Yeah.
like one of like my traits was just I was holding on to people who I knew weren't like serving me no purpose.
Yeah.
And it was like taking out all my energy. Like, it just wasn't fair, to me at least, to be doing so much for people. And like, I was the type of person where I was never selfish. I always had to put everyone before me.
It's such a breath of fresh air when you stop doing that too.
It's
when
like,
you don't hang out with people that you don't want to hang out with.
and
like,
then you realize like things just start getting better,
yeah,
like naturally, because you don't have that tension around. Like I personally feel like I'm a very strong empath. I feel people's emotions way too strong, and it's like a blessing and a curse, you know, like because obviously you do want to like be an empath towards people, but there's always going to be that one thing where it's just like maybe it's not good for you, you know,
Yeah.
like being too empathetic towards people, where now it's just like you're not putting yourself, like you're not thinking about yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're really like when you're on your journey, like you become really selective.
Oh,
on
for
who
sure.
you're around, because you just see how much it impacts you.
Facts.
So,
Facts.
so I appreciate everyone here, you know,
Yeah.
like-minded individuals.
Wasted friendships is just wasting energy.
Right.
It's just like
I don't know about that. I feel like you learn everything. Like things wouldn't have gone the same way that it would have gone if that one person was not there.
that's true, but if you try to keep that friendship
Oh yeah,
there,
if you try to keep everything
once-
has to have an ending.
if you keep trying to push it, even though your lesson has been learned,
Yeah.
you're just wasting that energy.
Yeah, like why are you even here?
But
Why
then
you
you have to
still here?
ask yourself this: like, if you are continuing to push for that relationship, have you really learned your lesson? My mom always tells me this, like I remember when one of my friends was like still with this dude, and I'm just like I asked my mom like, why do you think that they're still with him? And she was like, well, obviously that person just has not learned their lesson yet. Like the lesson is sitting right there in front of them,
Yeah.
right? They're sitting right there in front of them, but they just have not learned it yet.
They
You
don't
know?
believe they did,
Exactly.
but
They haven't confronted that problem and gone past it. They just sat there and was just like, you know, either in bliss with it, mad at it, but then not knowing what's going on, and just have not come to face the terms. Or they are just like, really just did not. They really just liked the person and just didn't want to lose them. And I understand that.
hard, though.
It is.
That shit is hard.
It is.
Sure.
That attachment.
Attachment issues.
But I do want to, like, one of the last things I do want to talk about is just the psychology of a man, because I don't think we have talked about this on the podcast at all. Now, I just want you guys to just think about everything I'm about to say, because it's about to sound so strange. All right. Men are simple. And when I say that, like, I really do mean that, but it's not easy to be a man. We tend to being a man is not one-dimensional, but it does end at one point. It ends at our purpose. We talk about this all the time on the podcast, but I've never really truly gone into it. Being a man is all about staying on that purpose and being on that one purpose. Now, if you have multiple purposes in life, then that's a whole different conversation. But you still continue to stay on that singular purpose. You tend to stay on trying to get to that purpose or purposes. So for me, I have a bunch of purposes. I've tried to get this podcast. I want this podcast to be eternal to me. I want it to be for everything, lifetime, infinite. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, I can even pass this down to my child. That would be so tough. If me and Joey's kids were like podcasters, and like that would be like intergenerational type shit. That'd be so tough. But like, and I also leave this as a legacy for myself. This is my legacy. Like, when I leave this life, my kids will be able to remember me, and hopefully their kids will be able to get, you know, a good idea of what kind of man their grandfather was, and then so on and so forth. But all that to be said, just to stay on this, nothing's gonna stop me from being on my purpose, and that's the man's role. So the psychology of a man is everything orbits, all of his responsibilities orbit around that one purpose. So like, for instance, a man will skip a meal in order to continue to work, right? If he's a man truly on his purpose. Now, if he's knocked off his purpose, then that man's not happy. And that's one thing that connects to a man's emotions. So, for instance, even for ultra masculine men, you'll see this. If he's not, if there's something that he does not want to do and it's not connected to his purpose, he's not going to be happy. He's going to be upset about it. Like, the other day, only people who were there would understand this, but this man was in his emotions. I didn't understand at the moment why it was happening because I didn't have any context, but this guy was in his emotions because somebody had like slept with his ex-girlfriend, and so that was like distracting him in his brain, right? And he was not happy, and so we were playing basketball, and he was just like spazzing on people, and like I didn't understand why, but he was cool with me because I really wasn't, you know, I'm a dude everybody loves. Like, I don't get on people's nerves. Right. Like, I'm just an easygoing dude. But like, don't get that twisted. Like, I really will fuck you up. But he was really like emotional. I was like, why is he just like spazzing on these niggas? And then I learned that, and so it made me contemplate, like, he's really a man on his mission. Like, he's the ultra, like, in my eyes, from what he's shown me. I have probably had about 2 or 3 conversations with this guy, but he seems like a real genuine dude. But he's ultra masculine, and he was upset, and he didn't really seem happy. But because he was off his balance, because he was in his emotions, you know, and his emotions were kind of all over the place, he wasn't truly in his purpose. Yeah. He couldn't devote all of his time into his purpose. So therefore, he was not happy, which is why a man will act these different type of ways, because he's not there, you know, and he'll probably sometimes think irrationally because I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but there are some consequences that kind of just wouldn't have happened if he was thinking straight. That
makes sense.
But all I have to say, it's different for women. Women have a bunch of different reasons why they tick.
For sure.
One of the main reasons,
so stupid sometimes.
but the main reason is they want to be happy, and the ways that they become happy is by, one of the ways I'll say is testing a man's Shava. I think that's what it is. I think it's Shava. It's pretty much just testing a man's divine masculinity. So like, shit test, bitch testing is one of the most common things I see on a day-to-day basis when interacting. Yeah, so like, it's like
testing his gangster.
Not even that. It's like just testing his masculinity. So like, girl, this is like, shit tests come before bitch tests. Like, bitch tests, they're trying to see if you're a bitch or not. So like, one of the most like craziest like bitch tests I've heard in my life was that, so she already shit tested him. Now she's trying to figure out if this thing's a bitch. And so she goes up to, so the dude comes up to her, right, while he's with her, and she's just like talking to him, like she's allowing him to get gamed up. And she gives her his number while dude's standing right here.
Right.
And he didn't say nothing, just let it happen. That's a bitch test. And now that she knows that he's a bitch, she can walk all over him until she's finally finish using him to get what she wanted.
Finish him.
Exactly. Drain the bank accounts. Use them a trick. You know what I'm saying? But
okay.
but that's a bitch test. A shit test is as common as if a girl just mentions another guy's name in the story. If the man doesn't cut her off, then he either does not care or he did not feel comfortable enough to say something. And a man should never feel uncomfortable not to speak his mind. Because,
Step it up, brother.
you know what I'm saying? So, like, it'd be different to speak out his heart because that's a little tougher.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But to speak his mind, that's something that a man should do. So,
That's true.
and I do that constantly. Like, don't mention another dude's name in my presence if I fuck with you like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be different if, like, I know that you guys are friends and, you know what I'm saying? But, like, if you're talking about, like, a celebrity crush, like, why the fuck would I want to hear that shit?
Michael B. Jordan.
No, but like, I do get that. I feel like in a girl's standpoint too, which is irritating. As a girl, I'm like, it's an irritating like trait that we have. I mean, I don't really do this personally, to be honest, but like that, a lot of that stems from a lot of the girls' insecurity too. If you have to test him,
well, I mean,
like,
does it though? Like, because it just
sometimes.
seems in nature.
Not all the
to me.
time, but
Okay,
sometimes. Yeah, like.
Yeah, I definitely can see that.
Yeah, me too.
And not only that, it's also like a lot of these tests that these girls be doing are reflections of who they are as people. And girls don't ever talk about that, and I'll say that now. Like, girls will definitely do that. Like, you over here worried about this and that because have you fixed that yet? Like,
that's facts. And this is something that I would say. If a man came up to you today, perfect man for you, not the perfect man, because there's no such thing as a perfect man, but if the perfect man for you walked up and said, I am the perfect man for you, I can prove it, continues to prove it, right? Does not fuck up, and then within like an early, like before like the normal time of just like commitment is like, I'm ready to spend the rest of my life with you within like 2 weeks. The woman would be like, no, right? But it's not because she sees him as a simp. It's just because she's not ready herself. She's not ready. She's not developed into the person that she wants to be.
right.
So I just had to say that.
No, that is true.
Because, like, if a woman walked up to me today and was like, I'm the perfect woman for you, not only would I not believe you, I'd call you crazy. But, I would say I wouldn't be ready because I'm not the man that you're ready for.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
That's just all I have to say about that. That's pretty much man psychology. Man psychology is very simple. We are just a man on his purpose, and we do things to align with what we want.
Yeah. So, like, that end goal of just finding your purpose, but, like, you have to find that balance of, like, making sure you get that end goal, but you could still take care of someone if you wanted to.
The
but
journey.
that has to be, like, something you want to do.
Exactly.
You feel me?
That's right.
And I feel like even in my relationship too, like, you know, like, my boyfriend's a basketball player, and like, I would never be the type of person where like I'd have to be like, well, you can't play over there because you're too far away from me. And if he was the type to be like, well, okay, I wouldn't like,
Yo.
what the fuck, like, no, like, do your shit, you know, like.
You gotta be on your purpose,
And
man.
I
You
feel
can't
like-
let nobody stop
yeah,
you.
and I
If she
feel
said
like-
that, then it's on to the next. Like, there's another
Like,
one out there.
I feel like there's a lot of females who just can't.
I'm not saying like you should just cut them off
No,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, if
But-
they don't compromise, then
Yeah, compromise.
Yeah.
Like, I feel people are always like, communication is key. But if you like, you could communicate this shit, but if you're not compromising, if you're not understanding, there's nothing that, like, you could communicate all you want. Doesn't mean anything is gonna fucking happen.
shit.
Because I'm gonna tell you all this and that, but then you gonna tell me this and that, and it's just gonna be an argument.
Yeah.
You're communicating, but are you hearing me out? Like,
Man,
are you hearing me out,
please,
though?
she is spitting right
Like,
now. Podcast.
You gotta communicate, but you two can communicate your
Exactly.
problems, but
Yeah.
the unit as one has to find that solution.
Exactly.
Right.
But you know, you have to be with someone who who's open to compromise. There's people who are like, no, like that's not, you know, that's their own personal
don't
growth
understand
between
that.
them. You feel me? But like,
What do you mean by that, Katie? You should understand.
Like, I don't understand why people can't do what she was.
like just compromise
Yeah.
because people have ego.
That's so
People have
true.
ego.
That's so
Like, I know why, but I don't know why. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you know.
Because,
Yeah,
like,
I like for me, like, it's
For
kind of
sure.
like compromising is a lot of work, and if I'm on my purpose and I don't feel like it, and like somebody in my life runs into this constantly. He does not want to have to put in effort to obtain women.
Okay.
He doesn't want to put in the work. He just wants them to come to him and it's like free coochie. Like, but I constantly tell this dude, like, you gotta work for it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying like you should knock you off your purpose. It never knocked me off my purpose. I'm gonna
Yeah.
continue to keep doing what I gotta do.
As long as your partner or whoever you're striving for is aligns with your purpose, then
exactly.
because if you don't, then
I feel like it has a lot to do with like routine. Like, if someone doesn't fit your
sure.
routine, then
for sure.
yeah.
And
Exactly. It's about convenience. I actually talk about this all the time. It's hard to have a relationship when there's nothing to relate to.
because what the fuck are we talking about?
Exactly. So like for instance,
What are you
like
talking
a relationship is convenience.
about? Yeah.
The core thing around it is convenience. It is convenient for you to be with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It also creates happiness, but it is about the convenience of it.
Because
But
go.
oh shit, okay. But while like that relevance is nice,
Yeah.
I don't know if being with someone that is completely like one to one to my interests and my passions,
You can't always be a yes man.
that and also
Yeah, I
like,
understand what you're saying. You're
y-
saying
it's-
like if she likes everything that you like,
then like
it's not gonna be
fuck
attractive.
substance.
Fuck are we doing here?
No
like
substance.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
That's why
yeah.
opposites attract.
yeah, like
Yeah.
there's
Precisely.
there has to be space to where if they like these things, I like these things. Some of them are the same, but
Yeah.
there's no differences to where like
It's
when
still
they
attracts
talk
you.
about it,
It's
still
you're
attracts
learning.
you.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
It
you're
arouses
attracted to
you.
it.
Like,
Like-
me,
What are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, like, me, I'm more reserved, so I'm most likely gonna be more attracted to someone more like outgoing and outspoken.
Right. No, yeah, for sure. And like, I realized also in a relationship. Well, I don't know if it's like a personal preference or like I just feel like this is how this would be a good way to have like a balance of a relationship. But like, I'm not with someone to put my all in you.
Yeah.
Like, if you're supposed to compliment me, not, you know, feel me? Like, you're supposed to compliment me as a person, not be everything I want to be.
That's a good point.
Like-
Because complimenting somebody is different from
Yeah.
being the same as somebody.
Mhm.
So like for instance, vanilla compliments chocolate
Yeah.
along with strawberry, which creates the Neapolitan. Ketchup complements mustard. You know what I'm saying? They're two different things, but they're the same but they're condiments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like for instance, like I'm a big anime fan. I'm gonna say that off the top. Let's say my favorite anime is Naruto, right? You might not like Naruto, but you still like anime, so that means we could watch anime movies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's enough of a difference for us to like debate about it because if you lived in a perfect world, would that not be hell?
It'd be boring.
Literally.
Boring. There's nothing to talk about. Like,
You know what I'm saying? You run out of stuff to talk about.
exactly. And I just feel like it's important. I mean, yeah, I just feel like it's important to like be with someone you can learn from.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm not learning shit from you, you're not like putting.
Not
I don't know.
stimulating
Like,
my mind.
I am a like. If I were to, you how you're not stimulating my mind. Like,
Yeah.
if I was a plant,
Yeah.
but you're not putting all that. I'm not growing. Like, I'm not learning more shit. Like, it's just dead straight. Like, nothing's. There's nothing that's gonna spark it. Like, nothing that's gonna like spark that conversation of, oh, but this is how I think. That's how you think. And it's just
Yeah.
can't be too bland. Like, if if it's always yes this, and agree on everything, like, it's just gonna end up hella bland. Like, that's boring. You don't want a relationship to be boring if you have nothing to talk about. Yeah.
All right, before we end, I just want to make it like real quick. Can we actually do that top 5?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All
Top 5.
All time or just like current types?
Wait, was it songs or artists?
Artists.
Artists.
Shit.
I can give you a current, a top. Oh, I say I can.
Current.
I can kind of give you both.
Okay.
I can't like 1, 2, 3, 5, but I'll give you 5.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough. Okay. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. Shoot. Okay, these are not my top 5 artists. These are my top 5. Okay, these are not my top 5 rappers. These are my top 5 singers.
Okay.
At the moment, Michael Jackson. I've been bumping a lot. I've been bumping Thriller like it's
Spooky season.
it. Best album. I would argue. There's not a better album. I posted on my spam. There's somebody said, Beautiful Twisted Fantasy was a better album than Thriller. I was like, bro, if you don't get your ass out of here, stop lying to yourself.
That's brave. That's brave as fuck.
Like, honestly, Thriller has 9, or no, I think it's 10 songs on there. 10 out of 10 hits. Every song on there is a hit. Like every song on there. You could probably argue that the girl's Mine is not a hit. But Baby Mine, Thriller, let's look that shit up right now.
I love my. I used to wear like a fedora to school when I was in elementary school, and I used to dress like.
You did not.
I did.
The girl
You
is
did not
mine.
wear a fedora to school.
I did.
The girl is mine with Paul McCartney though.
That's a banger, ain't
That
it?
shit
That's a
is-
banger, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? Like every song on there is a bop. Like you can't argue with me. Like there's no debate. Thriller is the best album of all time. Okay, but Michael Jackson, Brent Faiyaz. This is as of right now. Okay, as of right now, Brent Faiyaz, Wasted Time is damn near so tough. Wasting Times. God damn, it's about. But just his part. Drake's part's cool. You gotta warm up to it though.
Yeah, I used to actually not like that song.
Yeah, me neither.
I had to listen to it.
Yeah, a couple times, bro. When it first dropped, I was like,
what is this?
This shit's trash.
Like, I expected some
Some
I
like
expected
seeing
to-
shit, like
yeah.
some toxic shit.
Right.
Like, but it really wasn't like that toxic shit. It was just like subtle. And then like once you like listen to it a couple times, it warms up on you. I'm like, I'm saying like it's like pasta on the second day. Like
That's so specific. But I get it.
But
Second day.
okay, so that
That's a hard ass question.
Bryson Tiller been hitting.
Bruh.
Bryson Tiller been hitting. It's not even like on no simp shit. Like I understand the toxicity of that shit now. Like I used to be slapping his shit just because like I used to be like, this is simp music, but I be understanding the toxicity of that shit. He was like you've been on a private jet. He was like you've been on a private. He said you've been here before on a private jet. You must have been fucking with some rapper before. I was like, I felt that shit, nigga.
You know.
But I was.
It's tough.
But the thing is that he did not care because. Never mind. I'm not gonna even get to that. This guy too. Jay Pierce go crazy, or Jay Prince, you go crazy. That's 4. And then my 5th one, I probably have to say.
This is such a hard question.
It really is.
I'm gonna take Jay Pierce off because he's not a really singer. Sampha, Sampha,
Facts.
and
Facts. So good. So good.
this last person. She's not a singer, but I'm gonna have to. Oh, actually, no. Smitty.
Who were you gonna say? Were you gonna say no name? I knew it.
How do you know?
I knew it.
How do you know? But no name been going crazy. But Smitty. Not too many people know about her. She followed me back on Instagram, then unfollowed me. I was so. If you're watching this, if you ever watch this podcast,
sounds
please
really-
follow
is she
me
local?
back.
That sounds really familiar.
No, she's from like Detroit,
I
but
feel like I've probably seen her on Twitter or some shit.
yeah,
It sounds familiar.
she only has like 5 songs out, but it's by my favorite producer, Ninth Wonder. You know who Ninth Wonder is?
Yeah.
Yeah. She put her on Zion 4.
That's your favorite producer? Well, I don't know why I thought it was Alchemist.
Alchemist go crazy too.
Ooh.
He's my top 5.
Okay.
It goes
Yeah, I love Alchemist.
him, Terrence Martin, Alchemist, and then my last one is me.
Period. I'm not playing.
As you should.
I mean,
That's a hard ass question.
You want to go?
yeah, you go first.
Um,
And we're gonna go back around for top 5 all time.
all right. So first we're doing like
As of
current.
right now, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
As of
Who you
right
been
now,
bumping? Who top 5 artists you've been bumping currently?
I'll start
did
with
singers.
Drake.
Yeah.
Then I go to Brent for sure. There's this singer you guys may not know. Her name's Cleo Soul. She's from the UK.
I know it. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Crazy.
bumping her all the time.
Yes.
She's smooth.
Current.
Cleo Soul go crazy.
It has to be singers.
It doesn't have to be.
All right. Because current, I'll probably put Freddie Gibbs in there.
Oh,
God.
Oh,
you
you
can't
can't
say Freddie Gibbs on a podcast, bro.
Fredo.
On the way here.
Okay.
On the way
If we
here.
gonna
I
say,
don't remember what song it was, but
if we gonna say Freddie Gibbs, I'm gonna have to put y'all on with the album. All right. It's called Fetty. It's with him and Currency. They're the best.
it was. Oh fuck! I don't remember what song it was. I was listening to it on the way here.
Is it on Fetty?
Yeah, well, it was Freddie Gibbs, and then I know that Currency was on it because I was just like, oh, I know this artist. But it was like the first time I ever heard about this song.
Okay. He has a project with Alchemist and Madlib, right?
Yeah.
Those are the two producers he works
Separate
with.
albums,
Yeah, two
right?
different albums.
This is so hard.
I don't know who I'm gonna put for 5.
This is so hard. Wait, we're doing current, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
5.
Guess we can't look it up right now.
I'm trying to think of a singer.
Bless you.
Thank you.
This is so hard.
That make you. It's that.
Bro, I don't even know
Larry?
if he can do it. Larry might be. I think he's on.
Honorary mentions.
He's honorary mentions. I love Larry.
It's that match shit.
I don't know about that. I was gonna say Isaiah Rashad, but I feel like he would be honorable mention too.
Yeah.
This is
That 5 spot, I don't know.
This is such a good, like, he gassed it. Like, they gassed it.
I might need to look at like playlists.
me too, but it's over there still.
Was it Saturday? Wait, it was that new thing, huh?
Yes.
New thing?
I was listening to it on the way here. I was
New
like,
things?
wait, this is nice.
New things? That shit go
That's
crazy.
the first time I ever
How's
listened
about
to it.
that? How's about that? What's that? How's up in this? What's this? Yeah, put up in this. What's this? That shit was too hard. When he said that bar, I was like, nigga.
I love Georgia Smith too.
Ugh.
I
Her
love
fine
her.
ass.
If you ever watch this podcast, which you probably are not, you know.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I'll probably stick with that for now. I might think of something.
Y'all do it first, because I'm still thinking.
All right. Probably Blast for months now. Frank Ocean. Well,
I forgot about Tyler. Fuck.
Frank Ocean.
Oh my god.
Frank Ocean will be on the all-time. He stays on the all-time and the current no matter what. Like those change all the time. Frank is the one that stays. I've been bumping that new Isaiah Rashad for ever since it came out. So he'll probably take 3.
That shit was hard.
Jay Worthy was on the song.
I know. I saw.
Larry,
Some motherfucking rainbow.
definitely Larry, and then Giveon.
I found Giveon before everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found him 20.
Literally,
I
I
found him 20.
I found him through, I was just literally listening through YouTube.
Yeah,
This was
Garden
like
Kisses.
before he even dropped the whole.
Yeah. I heard Garden Kiss before I heard Big Jones. Yeah.
I heard Giveon through Aubrey, but you know.
Huh?
That what's it called? No, what's that song? Where Drake sampled him?
2:30.
Yeah,
Chicago Free Throw.
Yeah. I heard him through that one. But then I was like, once I like figured out who it was and I started listening, it's been ever since.
Fuck, this is hard.
Let's go to the
Right now,
This the last thing.
oh, I'm bumping right now. Top 5. I would say, oh shit, this is really fucking hard. Cause I have like 4 different playlists I have like on, and they're like different genres, kind of.
Damn.
Depending on my mood, but lately definitely Blast. There's been up there. FKJ. Masego, bro.
Masego.
Oh, to that line, oh my god, so good. So much fun.
Yeah, he went.
So
nuts.
good. He was going crazy.
He went
on
nuts.
You go crazy.
Sabrina Claudio.
Oh.
Yeah.
Charlie got
Charlie.
I love that.
Charlie, I'm making you holding the gun. I promise. Even if I have to work with Jules, I'm making you holding the gun. You have to sing it, please. Please.
That cover she did was nice.
Have you heard it?
I saw like a little snippet of it. I think like she posted like a TikTok was a little video. I was like, fuck yeah. Sabrina is definitely up there. Did I do 5?
Was that 5?
That was
That was 4.
4. One more.
Sabrina, Blast.
I forgot a lot of people that I'm thinking of right now.
Me
It's
too.
irritating me.
This is really fucking
Masego.
hard.
Or FKJ. That's 5.
That is 5.
I didn't forget them. I had to disclose them off the list because I just thought that no one was better.
She got the 5.
She got the 5?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm alright. Alright. Let me think. Alright. Top 5 all time. They're all gonna be of different subgenres.
Right.
John Coltrane. Michael Jackson. Kendrick Lamar.
I feel like I knew you were gonna say that.
This is really fucking
Yeah, it's almost not there. I gotta go to that shit. Yeah.
All time is super hard.
No, yeah.
Prince.
That's solid. I gotta respect that.
Icon.
Marvin Gaye.
Ooh, solid 5.
I love how you added Marvin Gaye.
Good
That
taste.
just made my day.
Solid 5. That is a solid ass 5.
You can't, like, that's very hard to 5 to dispute. The only focal point that you can honestly, like, the only, like, shaky point you can argue is Kendrick, but I would argue Kendrick because he's just the best at his craft. There's not a single person on this earth that can out-rap Kendrick, and I stand by that. I put Dub on that. I promise you. I put Dub on that. There's nobody who's out-rapping Kendrick. You can say Eminem. Eminem ain't rap about shit. When he said, when Kendrick said, I am the 70, when Kendrick said, I am the 70, bro.
Not Marshall.
You said 5?
Yeah, that's my 5.
Alright. Mine is gonna be like people might listen to this and be like, hell no, but this is preference. I understand that. So I'm gonna start with MJ for sure. And then second for me, I'm putting Drake on there because I'm just the biggest Drake fan probably ever. And then third, I would put this is so hard. Prince. Prince at the blue spot.
I can't hit that shit. I can't hit
Or I was just thinking of someone, but I forgot.
Oh, shit. Honorable mentions to one of the greatest singers of all time, Jamie Foxx.
Bro, Jamie Foxx sings
Jamie
so
Foxx is crazy.
fucking well. Fuck, what song was I listening to today? It was in the Rio movie, but it was such a good
The
song.
real?
With the birds.
Yeah.
He had this one song he sang on that fucking movie, and it was so fucking good.
I just want to say that. Ooh, fuck.
I gotta finish it.
That was a big
Let me think of like a white.
Is it a white? One white.
And then watch this dude say Elvis Presley.
Actually, no, I can't even.
Can't get a white one.
They would be like honorable mention for like my preference.
Who? Give the message.
Hiatus Cody. Hiatus Cody. And Coyote. Honestly, they really are underrated as fuck.
I need to look at my playlist.
Who are the dudes who sing? Is there a group called Empire to the Sun? Who sang Walking on a Dream?
Never shot him.
Walking on the Dream.
This is
Oh,
Yeah. They're not on my top list. I'm just wondering. I was on top. But I think I'm gonna throw Frankie Beverly on for me.
when it comes to hits, yeah. Honestly, I never even, cause I'm like, I think that's one thing that people don't like about me. I don't like listening to hits. I don't like listening to hits. Like I like listening to like album songs.
with like the music game because I don't listen to a lot of like.
Hits.
I'm also stuck in like just repeating the same song.
Yeah, I'm
So that's
stuck.
comforting.
As everybody knows, I'm stuck in 1970.
He's an old soul.
Call me Granddaddy. Capital D.
Was that fun?
Capital
I
D.
gotta say it fit first.
I feel like I listen to the
Don't forget about Smokey Robinson.
I listen to the same 90s throwbacks like every day.
Oh, this is a random ass name. Like, it just popped in my head.
Do you have like 5?
I think I got 4.
I don't
You got 4, you said?
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay,
shit.
who's I feel like my 5th spot's gonna be like someone current. I'm throwing Erykah Badu and honorable mention for me, since I love Erykah Badu.
Honorable mentions. That should have been that 5th. I don't even know why I forgot about her.
I love Erykah Badu. And Jill Scott too. Shout out. Matter of fact, I actually might put Erykah Badu in
Yeah,
the 5th spot.
yeah. Baduism is like damn near top 5 albums of all time, in my opinion.
I love Mama's Gun too. It's a super album.
Gazilla, baby.
She's just so like. She makes me feel like a big hug when I listen to her. She's so good.
All right. Before I start back on the all time, honorable mention for the current Sabo.
Sheesh. Sheesh.
Saba's hard.
What's that song? What's
I
that
keep
song?
going back to Care For Me. Care For Me is one of the very few albums I can listen to from start to finish.
It is a story. It's a story.
Yeah, it's one of the few albums where I could just do that.
What song was that he dropped recently? It was after Care For Me.
You know it'd be hard doing songs and stuff by
Fuck no. Can't
That'd
do
be
that.
impossible.
I don't have
Don't
time.
even ask.
Songs? Oh yeah, hell no.
We'll be here.
Maybe I can do albums, but songs? Maybe I could actually do songs.
But
Sing About Me is #1 song of all time.
top 5. Frank, like I said, MJ.
He's working on that. I think he's working on the album right now. I heard of it.
Me too.
I heard of it.
It's finally out the game.
Kendrick. How many is that?
3, right?
2.
No, sorry.
2. Frank, Kendrick.
Michael.
Michael.
That's 3.
I don't know how to answer this question.
Ah.
I don't know.
Pac.
Pac. New Pac. Shout out to Justin.
And then last one, Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Okay. I love Steve.
My Sherry.
That might be my favorite song of the whole time.
Really?
My Sherry. It's up there. Top 5 for sure. I love that song. I grew up on this song. Memories.
I don't have an answer to this question. I don't.
Come on, Nair.
I don't.
That's
I
5,
don't
right?
have an answer to this question.
It's a solid 5. Let's go.
This is so hard. Shit. Like, I really don't even know, like...
Come on, bro. Go.
I'm blanking, bruh. You got to look at your playlist. I did not. Okay.
You want to look through?
All the time? Are we doing all the time?
All time.
Oh, shit.
You got Lil Kim in there?
For Karen, I
Lil
forgot to
Kim.
say.
Fuck you.
For Karen, I forgot to say K Tronada. I love K Tronada.
Ooh. I don't think I know that.
He makes like
That's like house music king.
It is.
like yeah, that type. Crazy.
That's like 90. Bro, I remember the first time. Let me just say, while you shit trying to figure it out. I'm going to tell you this story. The first time I heard house music, I was in a library. And that might be the worst place to figure out what house music is. Because, like, I'm in that. I'm going crazy.
Shit.
I'm just going crazy. And they had the samples and shit. He takes it out for a second. I'm like, what? They brings it back. I was like, oh shit! Somebody looked at me. I was like, what?
Like a lot of people be embarrassed like to listen to. I'd be bumping K Tronada.
I be bumping, bro. Like 90s house music, like that should be. Oh my god.
I had
I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to. You said K Tronada?
Yeah,
I like
right.
an 80s, like, techno pop phase. Like, what's her name?
I also miss the internet. I like the internet. Their group though.
Yeah.
You can't
Fuck.
Wait, they disbanded?
No, they're still a group.
Oh, I'm just saying. I'll explain why. What's her name? Just started singing random. Yeah, Sid.
Sid with Smino.
Oh, yeah. I only like one song from
Internet girl.
Internet.
Girl.
I haven't, like, ventured into their music.
Listen to Hold On.
That's good album.
Hold On?
Yeah, hold on. Crazy.
This is a really hard question. You're putting me on the spot right now. I can't do this. Can we end with you three?
What'd you say?
Can you end with you three? Wow, this is so hard. I don't know.
Well,
You guys listen to Tame Impala?
Sometimes.
I do.
Crazy.
Tame Impala. I've never heard it.
Really? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Some white people should do it.
It is kind of that.
It's hard though.
It's good though.
It is clean.
I mean, for me, white music is just rock, honestly. Like, I listen to, like, emo rock, and people would be like, what the fuck?
Like what artists?
Like, Sleepy Delta. Yeah, just off the deep
I
end.
like alternative music too.
Yeah.
White music.
A lot of
indie.
people like, indie, like Arctic Monkeys and everywhere.
Yeah, Arctic Monkeys is hard.
1975.
Owl City. They got like 5 good songs and that's it. But they're so good.
Never shot them.
You underneath your eyes, 10,000 fireflies.
See, you got Owl City.
Oh, I was City, yeah, definitely. Greatest of all fucking time.
Smash Mouth. Ain't no.
You're a rock star. You so long.
No?
Hey.
Your thoughts on
I
Shrek?
love Shrek. I watch Shrek every day.
It's a comfort movie. 1, 2, 3, or 4.
That's funny because in that
I
conversation,
forgot.
Which Shrek movie is the hardest?
I got the funniest picture of pain I can never show anybody. Oh my
No.
god, that's so
No.
funny.
Charlie, you did not have to do me like that, by the way.
What? What she do? Is it inappropriate? Of Shrek?
Yes.
I'm already knowing.
Shrek is love.
Shrek
Shrek
is
is
life.
Oh,
You watched the whole
shit.
thing? Did you watch the whole thing, the video?
I'm ashamed to say I watched that. I've seen every single one. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Honestly, I did not watch it until the night that you showed me. Like,
Poetry.
yeah.
It's something. It's something.
Okay, but best Shrek movie, which one? First, second, third,
Fourth.
or fourth?
Okay, in sequence, I'm going to have to say, shit. 1, 3, 4, 2. No,
That's
1,
crazy.
1, 2, 4, 3.
That's crazy. Because I feel like everyone always says the second is the best.
I personally like the first one.
I like the first one, and then I like the second one.
The other three.
The third one's cool.
I've been going the third one only because of the humor. It's such dry, stupid humor, but it's just so fucking funny.
And Donkey, that man, Donkey is literally a comedian.
It's fucking hilarious.
He literally is. Literally, Eddie Murphy's literally a comedian.
Whichever movie they're like, somebody better be dying, and it cuts to the right. He's like, I'm dying.
Third.
Third.
Her dad died?
Yeah.
Bro.
I was just like,
Third.
I was like, damn.
I thought he was
I was like, damn.
Third, that was the one where, like, they had their babies.
Yeah, that made me very uncomfortable when I was
Babies?
when I was a child. Like when no, just their romance in general.
Oh,
Donkey and the dragon. Like I didn't like that.
Like that's like has anybody like I don't know why until this day, like just now, I just now tried to picture that shit. Like dragon and donkey, like how the fuck does that, like who even thought to do that shit? Like the makers of that shit are so fucked up and sadistic for that. Like what? Donkey and a dragon?
Huh?
Is that your favorite Disney movie?
That's a DreamWorks.
That's definitely DreamWorks.
Oh,
Disney could never.
By the way,
Disney could never.
I'm not cutting that shit out. Never.
we do gotta cut that. I have to cut it. I have to leave.
Alright. Well, this was probably one of the greatest podcasts we've done because it was the longest. And as I said, it was gonna be the longest. But as all good things must come to an end. And I must say, we've had fun and we'll probably do this again. But until next time, as long as you show it's the Black Lotus Podcast. As long as you show love, we'll stay consistent. Peace.
love. Damn, I really said that.
Disney? Disney.
In a very long time.
Fucking hilarious.
See how long this is. I'm just gonna have you airdrop it. Damn. We went for another hour after that. That's just crazy. Yeah.
How do you have the space for that?